Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Become the Strongest Being in Multiverse Season 1 Part 5. Before we start, please go support John 354 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 86. Azazel. I finally did it. Leviana. Seriously, you're not kidding, right? Azazel. Of course not. Who do you think I am? I always get what I want. Leviana. Well, I'll call the rest, it's important. Creating a magic circle in her ear and calling the rest of the girls. In less than 10 minutes they were all there, as were the leaders. Enemu? You finally did something right. Azazel. Hey, that's not appreciated. Gabriel. Thank you very much, Azazel. Seriously. Azazel. A kiss also counts. Griselda. I think you're going too far with that. Azazel. I had to try. Tsukiyomi. Well. Azazel. Well, it wasn't that easy since she left little trace of where she ended up. The bad thing is that only 4 people can go. Serafal. I see. Maybe Issei needs help since it is unknown where she ended up. Surzich. And those of you who will go, I don't think you will let others go. The girls got together and discussed it for a while until they decided. Auden. And who will go? Serafal. Yusaka, Amaterasu, Gabriel and me. Azazel. Doesn't sound bad. Well, it looks like the platform is going to transport her to the place where he is. But remember one thing, you will have to wait about 5 days to return since the machine will need to recharge. Gabriel. Understood. Azazel just nodded and activated the machine, teleporting the girls to the last place Issei was. When they arrived at her destination they opened their eyes and noticed that they were on a hill looking at the sea. Amaterasu. What a beautiful place. Serafal. Yes it is, but where are we? Isaka. For now we have to go investigate to see where we are and also look for it. The 3 nodded and began to walk. Minutes later they arrived in the city and noticed one thing, and that was that they had only seen girls. Amaterasu. Is it me or are there just girls around? Isaka. I was going to say the same thing. They continued on their way until a girl spoke to them. You guys aren't from around here, right? Serafal. Not really. We come from a place somewhat far away and we are looking for someone. And who would it be? Serafal. I don't know if you know, her name is Issei. When she heard that name she was surprised and the 4 of them realized it. Gabriel. When I see your face I can tell that you do know him. The truth is, if you know him, he is a friend and he helped us not long ago. And pardon my manners, my name is Cleveland. Serafal. Great and a pleasure, my name is Serafal and this is Yusaka, Amaterasu and Gabriel. Yusaka. And where is he? Cleveland. Well, he disappeared a week ago, no one knows how it happened, 3 people, but they don't want to tell us. Yusaka. Can you take us to one of them, we want to know. It's just that we've been looking for it for a long time. Cleveland. Sure, let's go. But she didn't want to see anyone and she didn't leave her room and the other 2 didn't say anything. Gabriel. I hope you tell us something. Cleveland just nodded and the 5 of them started walking towards the Enterprise room. Upon arriving at his destination, Cleveland left them in front of his door and left since he had something to do. Serafal approached the door and knocked. Enterprise. I said no one should bother me. Serafal. Sorry but we want to know what happened to Issei. Enterprise. Nothing. Serafal. We know him since we come from the same place. They didn't hear any response until after a few seconds they heard some footsteps and the door opening. The girls could see watery eyes with some dark circles. Enterprise. Come in. They entered the room and saw a mess and several energy bars. Enterprise. They're not lying, right? Isaka. We don't have to. And you will tell us well. Enterprise. We were on the hill talking when out of nowhere a black portal appeared and he walked in there saying it was time to go home. Gabriel. It's the same thing Griselda and Graphius said. Amaterasu. Maybe he thought that with it he was going to return home. Isaka. But it wasn't like that. So he went somewhere else, that means we were late. Enterprise. And what will they do? Serafal. We will have to wait a few days to return to our world and then go look for him and not be late again. Enterprise. I see. Amaterasu. Tell me how Issei behaved. Enterprise. He was very energetic and very sincere as well as a joker, but he helped us without asking for anything. Taking a photo and showing it to them. When they took it they saw how they were both together with a smile. And the same clothing. Gabriel. He's always been like that. I never asked for anything. Enterprise. I can go to his world and go find Issei. Amaterasu. Because. You have family here. Enterprise. Issei is someone very special and since he is gone he has become strange. Serafal. Are you sure? This is your life. Enterprise. It doesn't matter. Besides, it's all over now. Issei helped us end the war and it wasn't easy. Gabriel. Yes. So we can't do anything, just wait for us to come back. Enterprise. Okay. I'm going to get ready. Serafal. Good with that said. Take a bath and change and you look terrible. Enterprise just nodded and went to the bathroom. After a few minutes he came out with a cleaner set of clothes. Serafal. Well, just wait to come back. In the meantime, how about you show us around? Enterprise. Fine, but they do come from the same place as Issei. You will not be able to be in the sea. Gabriel, what do you mean? Isaka. Better not tell us. Tell me we can see your memories, only the essentials. Enterprise. Okay. Serafal approached her and formed a small white ball and then projected it into a hologram. Enterprise was surprised at what she was looking at as she saw her own memories of her. The four girls were surprised at what they were seeing and that there were only girls there. Serafal. The other men of our dimension would be happy here. More Azazel and Auden in that hero. Isaka. I don't deny it, you're right, it's a good thing they're not here. Gabriel. I see that Issei didn't take much importance, but I noticed that he always corrected them since they called him her. Amaterasu. Hahaha, it was expected. Enterprise. This is great. Isaka. There is also a yakai place too. Serafal. There are many places to see. These days will be exciting. Gabriel, where they want to go. Isaka. We can go to that Empire Sakura, I'm curious. Serafal. It was amazing. So let's go there. That's when they left the room. As they walked down the hallway they passed Belfast. Belfast. I finally decided to go out. Enterprise. I have things to do. Belfast. And who are you? Gabriel. Someone looking for Issei, but we're late. Belfast. So that's why you came out. Enterprise. Yes. Belfast. And what will they do? Isaka. We'll go explore a little while we wait to get back. Belfast. Seeing that you came out, you decided to go with them too, no. Enterprise. Yes. Belfast. I see. So you already know my answer, I will always be by her and Issei's side. It's very strange that he's not here. Serafal. Well, let's talk on the way while we go for a walk. Belfast. Come on. Leaving the building and going to the Enterprise ship. And going to the Sakura Empire to see the surroundings. And wait to be able to go back and look for Issei again. Chapter 87. Entering the portal, Issei quickly saw the exit. Issei. Great, this time if I get home. Going to the exit, she had to cover her eyes as the light was very strong. When she left she was behind a house. Issei. Where am I? I don't know this place. Hey, what are you doing here? Issei. This one. You won't get out of here that easy. Taking attack position. And seconds later she went against Issei, but he stopped her fist with her hand. Issei. Sorry, I came here by mistake. I do not want to hurt you. If so, let me go, you're hurting me. Issei. Sorry. Releasing his grip on her and the other person rubbing his hand. So? Issei. Then nothing. I just showed up here. Not many would believe that, but I've seen a lot of things in myself, so it's okay. Issei. I see. From what I see, you're ready to go. That's what I was going to do, but I saw you standing here. Issei. First of all, my name is Issei, sorry for the delay. Nice to meet you, Issei, and my name is Hayato Kisaragi. Reaching out to him just like Issei. Hayato. You have unusual clothes. Issei. Hehe, great, no. Since she had the navy suit. Hayato. The truth is. Well, I have to go, I have to take a test. Issei. Exam for what? Hayato. To go study at Little Garden. It is an academy for pilots who fight against variants. Issei. What is that? Hayato. Maybe you lived in a cave or something. Issei. I come from a small quiet town and well I wanted to explore a little. Hayato. I see. Well, I have to go study there since they could help my sister with her treatment. Issei. I understand. And tell me everyone can take that exam. Hayato. Sure. If you have a good grade, the same army will pay you everything. Issei. Sounds great. Then I will go with you. Hayato. Wait, and how do you plan to pass? If you don't know anything. Issei. On the way you explain the most important things to me and I will do the rest. Hayato. I really wish you luck. Issei. Thank you. At that they both took off. On the way Hayato explained the important things about the history of everything that had happened. Issei had no problem memorizing everything. When they arrived at an academy they gave their names and were given a number. Hayato. We will be in separate rooms. Issei. Yes, and thank you for everything even though you barely know me. Hayato. Okay, no problem. Hey, and tell me where you're staying. Issei. I won't see anywhere, how I fix them later. Hayato. And you don't have money. Issei. No. Hayato. How did you come this far with nothing? Maybe they robbed you. Issei. I lost it, haha. Hayato. You're too carefree, you know. Issei. They tell me that often. Hayato. It seems that you are a good person, you can stay at my house. Until they give the results later. Issei. You don't think it would be too much? Hayato. I have no problem and there isn't much to do around here. Issei. If so, thank you. Someday I will repay you for all this. Aung. Hayato. Don't do that and it's no problem. And well, let's go now, it's time. Issei just nodded and they both went to their classrooms. Upon arrival they were given a package with several questions. When Issei saw them, he noticed that most of them were the ones Hayato told them about. Issei. I hope to pass. Starting to write. 3 hours passed until he finished. When he left the academy he saw Hayato waiting. Issei. I thought you would take longer. Hayato. I say the same about you. Issei. I did my best. Thanks to what you told me I knew what to answer. Hayato. Well, let's go. The two headed towards the house. 2 days passed and they went to the academy again to see if they passed and searched the list until they saw his name. When they saw that, they both shook hands. Issei. Great, no. Hayato. Of course. Let's celebrate. Issei. Sure, let's go. 3 days passed and they both went to the airport and headed to Little Garden. The days go by faster here than in Azure Lane. Issei looked out the window and saw that it was an island. Issei. Wow, it's there. Hayato. Yes. There we are going to study and live for a while. Issei. What kind of adventures await us? Hayato. Don't cause trouble. Issei. We'll see what happens, hahaha. Minutes passed and they reached their destination where Issei noticed 2 girls calling him. Issei. You won't go. Hayato. No. It's embarrassing, let's go the other way. Issei just nodded and they both took a different path so they could avoid the girls. After a few minutes of walking they arrived at the academy where they saw several students. Hayato. Let's ask where the ceremony will be. They both walked to where a blonde boy was. Hayato. Excuse me, this is where the entrance ceremony will be. Yes, it's here. Hayato was going to answer, but a girl arrived. You're Hayato Kisaragi. Seconds later he was surrounded. For his part, Issei just watched that, trying not to laugh at his situation. But Hayato managed to escape by hiding behind a building until a person spoke to him. Hayato. Throwing themselves on him, they both fell to the ground. I'm Emile Crossford. I'm also new to Little Garden. Hayato was going to answer, but Issei arrived. Issei. They don't look comfortable. Hayato. It's not what you think. Issei. Yes, whatever you say. After that the three went to the auditorium where they held the welcoming ceremony. When they arrived, they sat down and listened to the conversation until both girls arrived saying that they couldn't find Hayato. Issei. I told you. Hayato. I know it's my fault. Take your things and get out of here. Emile. That's not fair. Hayato. Emile, don't do that. Both girls began to fight until Hayato stood up. Do you have something to say or do you want to be expelled too? Just because you have the best grade doesn't make it a big deal. Hayato. Aye. Issei noticed how he clenched his fists and he also stood up. Issei. Hey you. Don't you have any manners? That's when everyone sets their sights on Issei. Hayato. Don't get into trouble. Issei. I'm just helping a friend. You have helped me a lot, now it is my turn to do it. Turning around and seeing the girl. Issei. I don't care who you are so you don't talk to people. I'm the president of the student council so I'm in charge. Issei. You can't blame those 2 girls since my partner and I avoided them since he was embarrassed. But that is not the point. What I mean is that you can't expel them for such a small thing. Insignificant you say. You have courage to talk to me like that. Alright. I propose you something. Issei. My name is Issei. Well, Issei and Clare Harvey. I challenge you to a duel. Everyone was surprised to hear that. Issei without hesitation accepted. Issei. Well, so be it. Clare. You're not afraid of losing. Issei. Not at all. Clare. If you defeat me I'll let all this go. It will be tomorrow afternoon, but if I do, you and your friends will be expelled. Issei. Well, so be it. Clare. It will be in the main coliseum, don't miss it. Issei. Whatever you say. Minutes passed and the news spread quickly. Hayato. Hey, you're crazy. Issei. A little maybe. But you're calm and I'm nervous. Hayato. And how would you fight, you don't have 100. Issei. Leaving that aside, where are we going? Emile. Let's see a friend who will help them get 100. The 3 of them boarded an elevator until they reached the lowest floor where there were 2 girls. When they arrived they talked a little. The newcomer boy will fight Clare, aren't you afraid? Issei. Not at all. Hayato would have done the same. I see. The hundreds have various styles, but in the end they all share the same thing, and that is to protect humanity. By having this, you will have to take responsibility, you understand. Showing 2 figures, one in the shape of a red diamond and another between blue and black. Issei took the black one and Hayato took the red one. It won't be difficult for you to fight with just one eye. Issei. Don't worry, I don't have a problem with that. I see luck. Issei just nodded and the 3 left the place. Chapter 88. When they left, on the recommendation of the person who gave them their devices, they went to train. Hayato. So this is my variable suit, it's a bit tight for me. Emile. I know but it takes shape according to what you want. Hayato. I see, and Issei, why don't you train with us? Since you are the one who needs it the most. Issei. I'm fine like this. You train, don't worry. Emil. Don't trust yourself. She will have no mercy against you, you know. Issei. I could tell. Hayato. Then come. Issei. You guys fight, I want to see what you're capable of. They both better not continue and started training. Issei. A cool sword. I hope mine is like this. Seeing how both of them were ready to fight. Minutes passed and only laughter could be heard. Hayato. Hey, stop laughing. Issei. I'm sorry but they're beating you up, hahaha. Hayato. Why don't you come then? Issei. I'm fine like this. After that it was late and they went to their rooms to rest because Issei was left alone since he did not have a partner and Hayato was with Emil. Issei was lying on the bed. Issei. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. Letting out a sigh. Issei. Also, Hayato hasn't realized that Emil is a girl, hahaha. It will be fun to see the surprise on his face. The next day the first to enter the stadium was Clare. And many shouted with excitement as they supported her. Clare. Make it quick, I have things to do. Issei. Whatever you say. Coming out of the tunnel with normal pants and the center. While she tied her hair in a ponytail. Some girls blushed seeing him like that but still supported Clare. Clare. You will fight like this where your suit variable is. Issei. This is it. I modified it a little. Hayato. Good luck. Emil. You can. Issei. Thank you both. Clare. You're ready to lose. Issei. I'm always ready. Let's do this quickly. Stretching her arms making Clare a little angry at her attitude. At that Clare took out the hunter from her and threw it into the air. Clare. Hunter on. Activating her armor. Issei. I have to do that too. No, thanks. Staying still to wait. The duel between Queen Clare and Issei, the new student, will begin. The duel will end when one becomes unconscious or admits defeat. Clare. I won't use my full body weaponry, it won't be necessary. Issei. You know I have met many people who think like you and well when they realize their mistake it is already too late. Clare. Yes, whatever you say. That's when the duel began and Clare noticed that Issei wasn't even moving, so she was attacked. Using one of her weapons she started shooting towards Issei. For her part, Issei didn't even move from her position. At that point a large smoke screen formed. Clare. That was it. It wasn't that big of a deal. Clare was about to leave, but Issei spoke. Issei. That's all, I expected more honestly. Coming out of the smoke screen as if nothing had happened. All the students were surprised since she didn't have any injuries. More Hayato and Emil. Clare. I gave you. How come you are as if nothing happened? Issei. Who knows luck, I'll say. Clare. You're making fun of me. Shooting again but Issei evaded them, then he noticed how Clare was close to him. And she was about to hit him in the stomach, but hers stopped him and hit him with a finger on her forehead that sent her crashing into the wall. Everyone's eyes widened when they saw that. Hayato. What was that? Emil. No idea but it was great. Clare was walking out of the rubble and she saw that Issei was standing in the same place. She was upset and she used the cannon on her and some were surprised since she would use it against a new student. Clare. You've come this far. Shooting with a lot of power. Issei. I don't think so. Extending the fist. Dispelling the attack, everyone upon seeing that didn't know what to believe. Some even fainted from the shock of what he did. Clare was surprised as no one had dealt with her attack. Clare. I'm the perfect queen, I can't lose here, especially with a new student. Activating her full weaponry and going on the attack. Issei just let out a sigh and she didn't want to continue, but she had no choice. Just then Clare arrived wanting to punch Issei in the face, but he stopped the fist with just 2 fingers. Issei. Give up. Clare. How can you do this? You're a new student and you're not using any of your weapons. How do you do it? Issei. I don't like depending on other things to fight. Clare. Who you really are. Issei. A boy who likes tranquility and exploring a little and helping his friends. Clare. Don't play with me. Issei. I don't. Clare. All this time you haven't really fought. Issei took her arm and pulled her closer to him. And she whispered something in his ear. Issei. If I'm serious I could have killed you from the beginning and I don't want that. I can tell that you are a good girl but too proud. You should leave that aside, it won't lead you to anything good. Pushing her away she was going to say something about her, but Issei hit her in the stomach which left her breathless and destroyed her armor completely and she fell unconscious. Issei began to walk to the exit without caring about anything, since everything was silent. They couldn't believe what had happened there. Her president had lost to a newcomer. Claire's colleagues arrived and took her to the infirmary. Hayato and Emil quickly left the shock and went to look for Issei. After doing this for a while, they found him sitting in a boat eating ice cream. Emil. What was that? Issei. Nothing important. You should try this, it's delicious. Hayato. Seriously that's what you'll say. You just defeated the strongest person in the academy. Issei. And what about that? Emil. You're stupid or you're stupid. Of course it's a problem, you just defeated her without using a weapon. Hey Otto. That's why you didn't want to train with us. If you were already strong. Emil. Who trained you like this? Issei. No one did it alone. Emil. You're not joking. Issei. It's not the truth at all. But let's put that aside and let's go eat something, it's already late. They both better not say anything and went to the cafeteria. 2 hours had passed and Claire was waking up and her 2 roommates were there. Claire. Liddy, Erica, what happened? Erica. In battle you were defeated. Claire closed her eyes and began to remember and remembered the last words Issei said to her and then she fell unconscious. Claire. I see. I completely defeat myself. Liddy. It was luck Claire-sama. Claire. It wasn't. He completely won me over and he himself told me that he wasn't serious. Erica. So his variable style gives him more strength and agility. Claire. It may be possible, but that doesn't explain how I handle it so quickly, that would be impossible. Letting out a sigh. Claire. Bring me my clothes please. They both just nodded and left the room. Claire. I'll have to apologize but because he told me that. Who is he? Minutes passed and it was already late. Issei and her 2 friends had taken different routes to their rooms. When Issei arrived at his, he went to take a bath. While Claire was on her way to her room to apologize. When I arrived I knocked on the door but no one answered and I noticed that the door was open so I decided to go in. When doing so, I noticed that there was nothing, no photos or books, just the bed and the basic desk. Just then she heard some footsteps and turned around and was surprised to see Issei alone with a towel around his waist while she dried her hair. She took a few steps back until she fell. Embarrassed as she looked away. Issei. Hello Kaicho. Claire. Aren't you ashamed, get dressed. Issei. I'm in my room, you entered without permission. Claire. I saw the door open and I can't continue as I was embarrassed to see it. Issei noticed that and went to change. Seconds later they were both sitting in silence. Issei. Well that happened. You need something for you to come there so late. Claire. I came to keep my promise to apologize and not expel those 2 girls and your friends. Issei. I see but it could have waited until tomorrow. Claire. The faster the better. Issei. Okay. Claire. That's all you'll say. You're not upset by the insults I gave you. He didn't hear anything until suddenly he heard Issei laugh. Claire. What's wrong with you? Issei. You call that an insult. You know since I can remember they have insulted me and well I got used to it. Claire. I see, I'm sorry. Issei. Because you act like this now. Maybe you're at Sundeer. Starting to laugh. Hearing that, Claire was embarrassed like she had never been before. Claire. Of course not, idiot. But leaving that aside I noticed some scars on your body. And what happened to your eye? Issei. Battles. And? While she was touching her eye. Issei. Saving the life of someone very important to me. Giving Claire a smile. Chapter 89. Claire. What kind of battles do I leave you like this? Issei. You are someone curious from what I see. Claire. I'm just doing my job as president in case you're in trouble. Issei. I see. Claire. And then. Issei. As I said before, since I can remember, I have been insulted for various reasons. Claire. And those would be. Issei. We are not very close for me to tell you my life. You recently wanted me dead. Claire. That's already in the past, okay. Issei. I see. Yes, you're at Sundeer. Claire. Don't call me that. Issei. If the other students saw you like this they would be surprised. Claire. Everyone treats me with respect because you don't. Issei. Because I would have to respect someone who is perhaps the same age as me. Besides, you haven't earned my respect. Claire. I see. Makes sense. Then someday you will tell me what happened to you. Issei. Maybe that depends on how you act. If you act this cold in front of me, I'll move further away. Claire. I have to give respect and if I act normal around you we will get a lot of attention. Issei. You say that as if we were secretly dating. Claire turned red upon hearing that. Issei. Fine, act as you wish, but don't go too far. Please. I'll try. You're the first person to talk to me like that. Issei. What can I say? You only live once and you have to enjoy life. Please. I understand. Well it's late I have to go. Have a good night. Issei. I say the same thing, rest. Leaving the room. Issei. Well, rest, as I said. The next day the 3 went to the city to get to know it better. At that Issei approached Emil. Emil. Something's wrong. Issei. When will you tell him? Emil. What are you talking about? Issei. Come on, don't act stupid. I know you are a. He didn't finish since Emil covered his mouth. Emil. How did you find out? Issei. It's serious. It's obvious since you act like a girl and besides your voice and figure. Emil. There are few who know, nor does Claire know. Issei. Yes, the others plus your roommate are clueless. Emil. It's slow. Issei just laughed hearing that. Hayato approached them both. Hayato. Something's wrong. Issei. Nothing interesting. Emil was telling me how his training was going. Hayato. I already control my equipment better, but I have a lot to learn. Issei. Take your time. Don't put pressure on yourself. Hayato. Yes. But hey, let's have some fun. They were about to leave, but Hayato received a call from her sister and invited her to hang out too. Hayato. Friends, this is my little sister Karen. Karen. Nice to both of you. She saw Emil in it. Karen. You're a man. Emil. Of course I am because you think I'm not. Karen. You seem very close to my brother, maybe you like men. Emil. Of course not. Issei at that moment laughed out loud since what she said made him laugh. Hayato. Hey, behave. Issei. Sorry but that was fun. And sorry about that Karen-san. My name is Issei, a pleasure. Karen. Nice to you too. Emil. You won't say anything about him. Karen. No. Hayato. How about we go explore the city more? Changing the topic. Afterwards the group went for a walk around the city going to various places. The afternoon arrived and they went to eat. But then 3 people arrived. Hayato. Kaicho. Karen. So she's the drill-haired blonde who insulted you. Hearing that, Issei spit out the water she was drinking and she laughed a little and everyone stared at them. Liddy. Have more manners. Issei. He can't resist it. That was good Karen. Give me 5. She just gave him a smile and extended her hand, bumping it into Issei's. While everyone was looking at them. Claire wanted to yell at him for laughing at her, but she resisted. Claire. Leaving that aside. I want you two to help me with the student council. Emil. Wait, Issei already won the battle you proposed, that's what's coming. Liddy. Calm down. Erica. It's not an obligation. Claire. I want them to be selected. We received orders from the Arsalan headquarters, the administrators of Little Garden. They will be students, but at the same time they will be murderers who will help us protect the citizens. Hayato. Fighting. Claire. Yes, with the savages and also being a bodyguard. Erica. Due to a mission gone wrong we don't have enough slayers. Hayato. I understand but why do I too? Liddy. We've seen that you learn quickly and can be of help. I won't say anything about the other boy since Claire-sama decided it that way. Hayato. I see. Claire. As they said before it is not mandatory, but if they have the power they have to use it for good. Issei. Okay, I'll help. Emil. Because you accept that easily. Issei. She's right Emil. If one has power it should be used to help people who do not have it. Besides, I will always help the innocent. Claire. I'm glad you accepted. Hayato. I will too, there are people I must protect. Seeing her sister and giving her a smile. Emil. I'll join too. Liddy. No need. Emil. Maybe you want me to demonstrate it here. I will not stay behind while my friends are in danger. Liddy. If so, prove it. Activating his weapons just like Emil. While the two were fighting Issei approached Claire. Issei. Interesting, don't you think? Claire. Yes it is. Issei. From the beginning you were going to let her in, right? Claire. Maybe but I wanted to know what he was capable of doing. Issei. I understand. Claire. I thought you were going to refuse to join. Issei. You said it. I have the power and I must use it to help no matter the cost. Claire was going to respond but they received an alert from an enemy. Without wasting time they went to the barracks to find out the situation. After a few minutes they were in front of a table looking at a map with their suits ready. Emil. Issei and your suit. Issei. I like it better this way. I don't like it, it's very tight. Claire. Both of you agree. It's time to leave. The others nodded and left the barracks. When they were in the air, the first to launch were Claire and Liddy and Erica to show them how to fight. Issei. Not bad, they make a good team. That yellow thing is its weak point. Emil. Yes. That's why you should attack as soon as possible so that they don't defend themselves so much. Claire. It's your turn. Just wait for the plane to land. Emil. There is no time. If they could do it, so can we, not Hayato. He was going to say something, but he was thrown by Emil. Issei. After you. Emil. See you. Launching 2. Issei did too. Claire. Issei activates your suit if you're not going to die like this. Issei. Everything is fine. Being about to reach the ground. When it fell, a small crater formed. Where Issei was seen with his hand on the ground in the shape of a fist. The 3 of them being somewhat close were surprised by what he did. Issei. See I told you it would be fine. Claire. I don't know if you're very brave or very stupid. Issei. Let's leave it half and half. And we better go help. She just nodded and they left to find another enemy. After defeating another Issei went somewhere else. The 3 girls were fighting one, but he was stronger than them. Liddy and Erica were injured and Claire no longer had as much attack power. At that she noticed how the savage was about to attack her with a laser. Claire noticed that she couldn't run and she just closed her eyes waiting for the moment. But it never came until someone had saved her in time. Issei. Not on time. Being in a building with Claire in her arms. Claire. How did you get here so fast? Issei. I ran a little. If you are tired you should ask for help, never fight alone. Claire. Issei. You are not an invincible queen. We all have a limit. So rest and I'll take care of it. Claire was going to answer him, but Issei left her on the ground and jumped towards the enemy. Already being in front of him. Issei. Let's see how much you can resist. Going towards him and hitting him in the front where he had the weak point. Without much effort I end up killing him. Issei. I thought you were going to resist longer. Letting out a sigh and going on with the rest. While he was doing it he noticed how Emile had his suit torn. Issei. They did well. Hayato. You knew that Emile was a woman. Issei. Of course he knew, it was obvious, hahaha. It makes me laugh to see your surprised face. Hayato. Because you didn't say anything. Issei. I wanted to see how long it was going to take you. And I see that it was too much. Hayato. That's why his name seems strange to me. Since it's Emilia. Issei. Friend, you are very slow, hahaha. How about we go home and rest? Since all this is over. And tell me, Claire, how we did. Liddy. Hey, more respect. Claire. Okay. And they did well, the three of them can go rest. They just nodded and left the place. Chapter 90. The next day Hayato and Emilia were training with two friends, also after a tough fight both groups were face to face. We are not rivals to you. Hayato. Don't say that. You are good. He still has a lot to learn. Emilia. We are not yet at the level of a person. Pointing to Issei who was applauding the four of them. You know what your weapon is like. The suit must already know how to use it completely. Hayato. As far as I know you've never used it. He says there is no need. So how do you defeat your enemies? Emilia. It's a mystery. Erica. Hayato. Claire-sama wants to see you, she has a mission for you as a selected one. He just nodded and went to change. Minutes later the three of them went to the office since he did not want to go alone. Issei went because he had nothing better to do. When he arrived he took a seat on the nearest sofa and just listened to the conversation. When Issei finished, he got up from his seat. Issei. You'll have a hard time, friend, I wish you luck and if something happens, call me. Hayato. Thank you. Leaving the room with Emilia. Issei. Hey Claire. Claire. Yes. While he was reviewing some papers. Issei. Do you want to go out tomorrow? It's the weekend. Besides, there is nothing to do that you tell me. Upon hearing that, she dropped her pen and saw Issei a little red. Claire. Because me. Issei. Hayato will be busy with being a bodyguard and Emilia will be busy with her friends. And well, I only know you apart from them. Claire. Issei. Come on, I don't know the city. Besides, you must also be bored with so much work. Claire. Good. Tomorrow at 10 at the park fountain. Issei. Well, see you. Leaving the place. Claire. Because I accepted. I've never had a date before. Saying that she turned red again and she couldn't concentrate. While on the other side. Serafal. These days were really great. They are ready to go. Amaterasu. Sure. But I will miss this place, it is very quiet and beautiful. Isaka. We have to go back to our house and then go looking again. Gabriel. And you guys are really sure to go. Enterprise. Of course. Belfast. From that day on I decided. Prince. I like him. And I'm curious where he comes from. Isaka. They must know that their ships will be guarded since, as we told them, we do not fight at sea. Prince. I'm used to not having it in its real form but in its weapons. Serafal. They said goodbye, didn't they? How they took it. Enterprise. Good. Belfast. Her sisters cried for her but are proud of her. Since I change. Prince. She didn't have much so she didn't leave anything. At that Serafal pressed a button that Azazel gave her and the entire group was teleported. When they arrived, several were surprised to see three more people. Enemu? Where is he? Serafal. The portal was ahead of us and took it away again. Azazel. We have to wait a few days for it to work again and search for its whereabouts. But first, who are they and those things they have? Serafal. They are people that Issei met there. It's an incredible place. Roswis. Because. Isaka. There are only women. The men, upon hearing that, widened their eyes, plus Azazel and Auden. Azazel. You're kidding, right? Isaka. It's the truth. Plus they are very friendly. Issei helped with the war there. Azazel. How lucky he is. Auden. Hey, we can go. Roswis. Don't even think about it, Auden-sama. Enemu. Neither do you, Azazel. Serafal. Leaving that aside. They are Enterprise, Belfast and Prince. Belfast. A pleasure. Down. The men, watching her bend over, couldn't help but see her breasts. Most of them got a nosebleed and others were hit. Laviana. I hope you can get used to this. Enterprise. Yes. Can you tell me what Issei was like since he didn't tell me much? The girls just nodded and led the three of them to a room where tea was served. Lefei. Issei's life is very long. Arena. And at the same time sad. Belfast. How bad it was. Serafal. He grew up alone. He trained to be able to defend himself. He has also helped us on many occasions by putting his life in danger. Roswis. Like when he fought an army by himself for 5 days non-stop. That surprised the 3 Grey Peril girls. Eride. He has also fought against gods. Alicia. He fought against me and he beat me very easily. Aphrodite. To our companion. Astrid. To my father. Enemu. He fought non-stop. He has earned the respect of many people, but also their contempt. Enterprise. What happened to his eye? Amaterasu. He saved me and he took the hit, but he didn't care about it, he was fine with what he did. Belfast. All of you. Who knew? That's right. We love him very much and we will always be by his side. Griselda. Whatever happens. Enterprise. He also helped me a lot before. And I miss those jokes. Athena. It's always like this. Yukon. He always smiles less in battles when he gets serious. Prince. Too much I would say. He gave me a big blow when he remembered it hurts. Raphia. He is feared because of his great strength. Hiroka. Yes. They should be careful with a certain group and a certain boy who likes to bother. Belfast. And that would be it. Arena. Issei's brother. It always bothers him and well it often bothers us too. And Zayton. But they won't be alone. Ingvald. For now you can stay in Issei's house with us since it is very big and the more the better. They continued talking about many things to get to know each other better. Meanwhile with Issei a day had already passed and he was at the fountain waiting dressed in black. That's when Clare arrived. With a red shirt and black skirt and loose hair. Issei. You look cute. Clare. I say the same thing. She said it blushing since it took her a while to get ready. Issei. Where do you want to go? You're my guide today. Clare. Well, let's go for a walk, it's a nice day. Issei just nodded and they both headed off. While they were doing it, Clare drew a lot of attention because of how beautiful she looked. Issei. Even outside of school you're still popular. Clare. It's not my fault. Besides, I have never paid any attention to that. Issei. You're not kidding. Clare. Well maybe a little. Tell me Issei why don't you use your 100? Issei. The truth is not necessary. Maybe another time. Clare. I see. A few days now I'll go to a pool and tell me, do you want to come? Issei. Of course there is nothing to do. You know, I'm glad that your other personality changed, I didn't like it. Clare. Because. Issei. I don't like people who boast about their power. I know several people who are like that. Clare. I see. But you should know that I come from a noble family and well I have to act like that. Issei. I can tell from the way you act that you come from a high-class family. I have met several people like that, but they act normal. Clare. They don't care what they're told. Issei. Not at all. Clare. I see that sounds good. They continued on their way to various places. Then night came and they went to dinner at a good restaurant. At the end Issei accompanied Clare to her house. Issei. I had fun, I have to repeat it one day. Clare. As long as there is time, don't be lazy. Issei. Yes, we'll see. Clare just smiled and walked up to Issei and kissed him on the cheek and then ran into the house embarrassed. Issei. How shy she is. But it's nice. Going to her room to rest as well since it was a long day. When she arrived she took a bath and lay down on her bed. Issei. I've been here for a month now. When I return home I hope the girls are well. Shaking her head to not think about it, she rather fell asleep. Chapter 91. It was a new day and Issei as she had promised went to the pool to hang out with Clare and her 2 friends. That's when Hayato arrived. Issei. Hayato, how are you doing on your bodyguard mission? Hayato. Well, I come to give my report. Besides, I've known her for some time. Issei. Wow, you have a famous person for a friend. Hayato. And what are you doing here? Issei. Clare invited me and well I had nothing better to do so I came. Hayato. I wish I had that freedom too. Issei. Someday. Well, I'll leave you so you can talk, I'll go swim a little. Hayato just nodded and went to Clare to give his report on how her mission was going. Clare. Issei, how about we make a bet? Issei. And that would be. Clare. Whoever reaches the end of the pool wins. If I win you will be my assistant for a week. Issei. And if I win? Clare. I'll be your assistant. But you must know that I have never lost. Issei. I had some friends who like the sea so I won't make it easy for you. Clare just gives him a smile and they both get into position until Liddy gives the signal for them to start. Issei just jumped into the water and swam at great speed, reaching the end in less than 5 seconds. Leaving Erica and Liddy with their mouths open. Clare got to the end thinking she won, but when she came out of the water she saw Issei sitting waiting. Issei. You took too long. Clare. You cheated. Erica. The truth is, he arrived a long time ago. You lost Clare-sama. She was surprised because she didn't even notice when she got there. Clare. Well, you win. Issei. Great. What will I do now that I have an assistant in addition to being the president? Clare. Don't go overboard. Issei. Throughout this week you will make my food. As much as breakfast, lunch and dinner. Liddy. Hey, don't you think you're exaggerating? Clare. Okay, I'll do it, that's not much. Issei. Good. It's already late, what do you think if you make dinner? Clare. Fine, I'll do it. This will be a long week. Issei just gave her a smile. At that, Clare comes out of the water and goes to the kitchen with her two companions. At the end, Issei put an instant soup on the table. Issei. It took you an hour to heat the water. Don't tell me you don't know how to cook. Clare. I had someone who did it for me. Issei. You better leave aside the order I gave you. Since you don't know. Clare. Don't say anything, you don't know either. Issei. I know a little. Since I was little I learned. Sit back and see. The three of them listened and waited, and in half an hour Issei arrived with 4 dishes for each of them. The girls enjoyed it since it looked good on them. Issei. You said. Clare. That's acceptable. Issei. Then I won't do anything to you again. Clare. Well, it was good. Issei. I'm glad to know that. They talked a little and then everyone left the place. The next day Issei walked around the city a little and noticed that Hayato was with his friend that he was taking care of, so he better left to avoid problems. It was already late and it continued until he crossed paths with Emilia. Issei. How are you doing? Emilia. Fine, but come with me. Hayate and the other two are in danger. They attack them. Issei. How far away are they? Emilia. They are very far outside the city. Issei. I see. Then hold on. Taking her in her arms. Emilia was going to say something, but she saw how Issei started running very fast. She only held on to Issei's neck since they were going very fast. Issei. Where? Emilia. Within 1 kilometer, turn right and then 4 kilometers later to history. Issei just nodded and went faster. When she arrived, the first thing Emilia did was vomit since that was new to her. Emilia. That was ugly. Issei. You get used to it over time. But well, let's leave that and let's go quickly. Emilia nodded and activated her 100 and went to the others. When she arrived they saw many civilians. And how Hayato fought. Emilia quickly joined the fight. Issei. Another one with self-regeneration, that's annoying. Hayato. Do you have any ideas? The truth is I'm a little tired and I can't protect Sakura well. Issei. Take a step back, I'll take care of it now. The others paid attention and Issei began to walk towards him. As he did so I noticed how he was ready to shoot too. Issei. It's all or nothing. Making his fist backwards and then moving it at a high speed where both abilities collide with each other. But in the end Issei won by completely destroying the monster. And leaving the rest of the people in shock. Issei. Well, I'm done. Hayato. What was that? You made it that easy. Issei. Don't say that. Everything costs you know. Emilia. Maybe not for you. Thanks for the help. Issei. You must be Sakura, no. Hayato told me about you. Sakura. Seriously, like that. Issei. I knew you and well, nothing important. Well, since everything is over I'll go home. Hayato. Wait, they're coming to bring us. Issei. It's not necessary. Starting to run and then take a big jump. Hayato. How does he do all that? After giving your report. The next day at night was the concert where several were invited by Sakura. Then they went to the beach to spend the day. Issei. What a great day. Looking at the sea landscape. Emilia. Issei, you have many scars that I gave you. Issei. Past fights but it doesn't matter, let's go swimming. Emilia. Not everyone knows that I'm a girl so I can't. Issei. Now I understand why Sakura is with Hayato. Emilia. Don't say it because it bothers me. Though before I get angry. Issei didn't say anything and left. Issei. Assistant, how are you? Clare. Fine but don't call me that. Issei. I'm just telling the truth. You know I'm a little thirsty. Clare. I get it. Going to get a drink. After a while he returned with a drink. Issei. I said it once and I'll say it again, it's a great day. Clare. Don't get used to it. Emilia. Hey, you guys want to play volleyball? Issei. Good. Come on Clare. She was going to refuse, but Issei took her hand and took her with him. At that point, Emilia used her skills to make the ball go faster. Issei quickly intercepted it and returned it faster, causing the ball to explode as it fell to the sand. Hayato. Take it a bit too far. Issei. I was overcome with emotion, hahaha. Someone was going to say something, but then a helicopter arrived. Just then the door opened. Clare. Juder Onisama. Juder. Long time no see Clare. Clare. You're here for something, aren't you? Issei. I feel like that guy has the personality of someone I've seen before, but I don't remember who. Juder. I came to see the future soldiers that Ruslar will have. You are Hayato, Emilia and Issei, please. Hayato and Emilia just nodded while Issei tried to remember something. Tutor. They have a bright future. But leaving that Clare, I will take you to Little Garden, come with me. At that Issei snaps his fingers at her since she remembered and opens her eyes since she had them closed. Hayato. Something happened. Issei. He reminded me a little of Alicia's brother. It was quite a problem but good what happens here. Clare. Nothing important. I'm sorry but I have to go. Issei. Have a good trip Clare. Tutor. You should have more manners. Issei. I have them. But we are friends because it would have to be formal with a friend. Tutor. You should look for better friends Clare. Clare. It's not your concern who I fit with, let's go. Going to the helicopter. After that they decided to return home since the party had been ruined. Chapter 92. The next day Juder invited Hayato to see someone. Hayato. Who is she? Juder. She is the commander of Little Garden and the source of her power is Liza. She is the first Slayer and variant. She created by humanity. Juder. This is Liza Harvey. Hayato. Harvey. Juder. She is my sister just like Clare. Clare. Because you brought Hayato here. They both turn around and look at her as she points a gun at them. Juder. Put that gun down. If Liza saw you like that she would be surprised. Clare. Just answer my question. You know that it is prohibited to bring more people here. Juder. It is not obvious that in the future he will be a great fighter and now he knows the reason why he must protect Little Garden. Something that can change the fate of the world if you fall into enemy hands. At that Clare said goodbye to Juder's feet. Clare. Don't talk like my sister is an object. Juder. But that's not the only reason, he has divine blood that can help wake up Liza. Try it Hayato, get close to her and put some power. Hayato saw Clare and she just nodded. He approached Liza and passed her hand but nothing. Juder. What a shame I thought it was going to work. Well, I have to go. The good thing is that he's still alive. Issei. Wow, you love your sisters. At that, the three look at Issei who was leaning against a wall. Clare. Issei, how did you get here? Or rather how did you find out about this place? Issei. You think I was doing nothing all this time? I like to learn new things and well I was surprised to see it. Juder. You know this is illegal, I could even execute you for what you do. And I would love to do it. Clare. You won't do anything, he's under my protection. Juder. It's the first time you protect someone other than Liza. How special he is. Clare. He's a good friend. Juder. Find better friends. Just this once I'll let it go. Starting to walk towards the exit and as she passed in front of Issei, she gave him a serious face, but Issei didn't take it into account. Clare. You're crazy coming here. Issei. A little maybe. So she is your sister. Clare. Yes she is. But let's leave it at that and go. Going to the exit Hayato also started walking to the exit. When they arrived the three took different paths. The next day they were called for a mission. Clare. We think there are about 50 savages in that area. It is also possible that those three appear in this mission, so be careful. After that they left the place. After a few hours of travel they reached their destination and went to the camp where there were more slayers. Later everyone gathered with their suits ready to go to war. Exactly Issei. Clare. Again. Issei. More comfortable. I don't know why they like to use that. The truth reveals a lot. Clare better not say anything and gave instructions to her team. After dividing the teams they went to fight. Issei. Who is she? Emilia. I'll just say that she is Claudia and it's just a long story. Issei. I see. But that they continued on their way while killing some savages. That's when night came and everyone gathered again. Night came and they took turns to rest. Issei. Wow, it was our turn first. Clare. So I see. Issei. How about we go for a walk for a while? Since Claudia is here and if something happens she tells us. Clare. Okay, let's go. They both stood up from their nod and entered the block. After a few minutes they arrived at a lake where they could see the stars better. Clare. It's a nice place, isn't it? Issei. Yes it is. You can't always find places like this. Clare. You won't say anything about my sister. You didn't say anything on that occasion. Issei. Well, you have your secrets and I have mine. Clare. Will you tell me something about yourself now? Issei leaned back on the stone that was there lying that Clare was sitting on it. Clare was going to get off the rock but she slipped and fell into the mud. Issei. You're fine. Clare. Yeah just dirty. Issei. Take a bath, we're in a lake. I'm going to watch. Clare. You're not going to spy, right? Issei. Of course not. Clare just laughed a little. And then Issei stood up and turned around while Clare took off her clothes and entered the lake. Issei. You see Clare. I was never loved by my family. Clare only listened to what she said. Issei. And I'm glad that you love your sister despite the situation she finds herself in. I grew up alone for as long as I can remember, my brothers never loved me. But maybe it was a matter of destiny since that's how I was able to get to where I am now and I was able to meet good people. Clare. And you hate them. Issei. I can't hate people I don't know. Clare. I see. You're a good person. Issei, the truth is, I investigated you and I never found any information about you. You appeared in the system until you took the exam. Issei. It was good to see. Even if I told you the truth you wouldn't believe me. Clare. I've seen a lot of things. It is not a big deal. Issei. I am not from this world. Clare was surprised to hear that and turned around. Issei. But don't think I'm one of those things. I come from another world. I came here by mistake. Clare. So. Issei. So that's why I don't know much. Clare. I see. And you will return. Issei. I hope I can. There are people waiting for me. Clare. In that world you have someone special waiting for you. Issei. The truth is, there are many special people I have. Clare. I see. Keeping his eyes low. Issei. I fight for them and the friends I have. I would give my life for them and I would also give my life for you. Hearing that, Clare looked up from her. Clare. Because. Issei. You are also a special person for me. Despite how we met, you changed over time. Clare. I see. I'm glad to be someone special to you. The truth is that you are too for me. Starting to get out of the water and putting on his clothes. That's when they revived an emergency call and both left the place to help the people who asked for help. When they arrived they saw how their companions were on the ground injured. Two boys in black and green suits had a smile when they saw how bad they were. Issei. They like to see that. More fun. That is better. Issei. You better leave or you will get hurt. Do you think we will listen to you? Hahaha, maybe you are crazy. At that Issei moved quickly, giving him a kick that sent him flying, crashing into a tree. Take your friend or things will be worse for them. The girl only took her partner and she took him from there since she saw Issei's serious look and it scared her a little. Clare. You always do those things. Issei. They aren't bad kids. They are just needy. Clare. What? Issei. I don't know. But I saw it in his eyes. Let's better help them and get out of here. He went and picked up two of his companions and put them on his shoulders and went to his camp. Just like Clare took her friend and took her to work. Chapter 93. After carrying his wounded companions. They withheld the announcement that the savages had awakened. All the slayers gathered around the lake to kill him, but it was impossible since he had a shield. In the end they used all of his power in a single attack so that in the end, Hayato finished killing him. Clare. Because you didn't help. Issei. I won't always be here you know. Plus I want to see how strong the others have become. Clare. I see. After that the night passed and everyone returned to the academy. The next day they gave their report and left the student council room since there was a cultural festival that day. Issei and his two friends were walking until they entered a cafeteria where there were many maids. In the end they took Emilia to put her in one of her costumes. Erica. Hey Hayato, don't you want to touch them, they don't look like they're real. Hayato. Maybe you're crazy. All the other girls started cheering for Hayato all the way to Issei. Hayato. You too. Issei. It's fun to support others. Hayato. Fine, I'll do it. Walking over and stretching out her hand to touch Emilia's chest. At that point, two girls push Hayato and he falls on top of Emilia, touching her chest. After that all the girls took photos of what was happening. Issei. I see you enjoy it. Since you don't let go hahaha. Hearing that, Hayato quickly got up from the ground. After that the three left the place since they had to see Sakura and Karen's concert. Issei. They sing very well. That's when the alarm sounded that there were intruders in the place. Issei. You two take care of them, I'll go see what's going on. Emilia. Be careful. Issei just nodded and left the place. Clare. These savages don't have cores so how are we going to defeat them? Issei. Completely destroying his body. Charlotte. How did you get here so fast? Issei. That doesn't matter now. Clare, where do I have to go to stop those things? Clare. Outside the academy. Issei. I understand. Clare. Be careful yes. Issei. See you. Leaving the room. Minutes later there were more and more savages and the others had to join the battle since they were about to destroy the shield so they could enter the place. Hayato. This is bad, there are more and more of them. Issei. They're not having a good time. Hayato. Issei, you weren't anywhere else. Issei. I'm done and I came to help. Besides, Emilia is hurt, see, I continue. Hayato. There are many, you won't be able to do it alone. Issei. Don't pay attention to the quantity. Besides, it's time to use this thing, I've never done it and I'm curious. Taking out his 100. At that she threw it into the air. Issei. 100 on. Both Hayato and Emilia were surprised since it was a rare armor. Issei. Just as I thought. I like it. Hayato. It's the first time I've seen something like this. Emilia. Me the same and from the beginning a complete armament. Issei. I thought it would be a sword, but I'm satisfied with this. Starting to run and commanding every savage that crossed his path. Emilia. It got faster with that. Hayato. I can tell. We are going to help somewhere else, he will be fine. Emilia nodded and they both left the place. Minutes passed and Issei had already finished. He walked a little way and heard a fight in the distance, so he went there and saw his two friends fighting a mutated savage. For his part, Issei decided not to get into that fight, he wanted to see how strong his friends are. After a hard battle they were finished. Issei. They did it well, no. Clare. Yes. Turning around and being surprised to see Issei in his armor. Clare. That's right. Issei. I forgot to turn it off. Taking off his armor. Issei. I was curious to know what it was like. Clare. But it was very different from the rest. Issei. Don't take it seriously. That's when Liza appeared for a brief moment. Clare. Her. Issei. Yes, he was here. That means she's already woken up. I think you should go see her. Clare. I'll go right now but first. Do you want to go with me? Issei. Better go alone. Clare. Don't come with me. Issei let out a sigh and accompanied her. When they arrived they saw Liza with her eyes open, giving them a smile. Clare. Liza. Liza. Wani-sama. Long time no see. Clare. How did you wake up? Liza. It was because of Sakura's song, I really liked it. Clare. I'm glad and tell me you can get out of there now. Liza. Yes, but my body is still very weak since I spent a lot of time here. Issei. Get out of there, I'll help you with that. Clare. Are you sure? Issei. Trust me. Liza. Okay. Opening her capsule. When she was about to fall to the ground Clare took her in her arms and Issei approached them both with a flask. Clare. What is that? Issei. It's a phoenix tear. A friend gave it to me a long time ago. But never use it. Take it yes. Liza nodded and took the bottle. Seconds later she was getting up as if nothing had happened. Liza. Thank you. Issei. No problem. Liza. And you are something of my sister. Issei was going to answer, but Clare took his hand and spoke. Clare. He's my partner. That's why I brought it with me. Issei was a little surprised to hear that, but she saw Clare's smile and returned it. Liza. So you're my Ani-chan. Issei. Yes I am. It's the first time someone has called me that honestly. Clare. Then get used to it. Liza. Since you are a couple, you can kiss. Clare was embarrassed when she heard that and was going to refuse, but Issei grabbed her waist and then gave her a kiss. Liza, seeing that, was surprised and embarrassed because she thought she was going to refuse. Clare. I thought you wouldn't. Issei. I always comply. Liza. I was joking. I thought you wouldn't do it. Issei. Well, how about we go eat something, it's already late. We also have to continue with the festival, soon the fireworks will be launched. Both blondes nodded and each took Issei's hand. After a while they were walking through the streets. Liza. Everything is very different, but it's nice. Clare. Yes it is. Issei. Now that I think about it, I haven't seen those two. Let's go look for them. Clare. You like to bother them, don't you? Issei. A little. Don't deny it, it's fun to do. They walked a little more until they saw more of their acquaintances. Then they went to look for Hayato and Emilia. They searched for a while until they decided to go see the fireworks on the roof. But when Issei opened it he was surprised that they were both there kissing. Upon hearing the door open, they quickly moved away. Issei. They don't waste time hahaha. Emilia. What are they doing here? Issei. We came to see the fireworks since we couldn't find them, but here they were. Hayato. They surprised us. Sakura. But they're both boys. Emilia. The truth is I'm a woman and also a princess, sorry guys. Some were surprised to hear that and Issei just laughed at the situation. Liza. Ani-chan, don't laugh. Issei was going to answer, but he had that feeling and he went to the place and noticed that until he opened it again. Everyone looked at Issei and what was happening. Hayato. Issei, stay away, that looks dangerous. Issei. This will take me home. Nobody understood exactly what a person who didn't like that idea said. But she took some steps forward as did Liza since she wanted to be with her sister and brother now. Clare. Erica, now you will be the new president of the student council. Erica. I what? Clare. I want to be with him. And I leave. Issei. You don't have to do that. Clare. My life was always boring and when you arrived that changed and you are my partner. Everyone was surprised when they heard the last thing. Issei. I see. Well Hayato, you were a great friend and thank you for everything. Isay means it. Hayato. You were also a great friend. Take care of yourself. Everyone said goodbye to the three of them and after that they entered the portal again. Chapter 94. Roswis. Azazel-sama we are ready. Azazel. Okay, wait. He was about to send the four girls, but he saw his computer. Athena. Something's wrong. Azazel. Issei left the place. Thanks to the latest data I can know if she is leaving the place or not. Aphrodite. So. Azazel. You'll have to wait a bit to change the trajectory. Where did you end up this time? Starting to change the data. Well, Issei. Liza. Ani-chan, what is your world like? Issei. A quiet place sometimes. You know their humans don't have powers, they are normal people, so you two don't show any of your abilities. Clare. Okay. Issei. You think your brother was happy. Clare. When he realizes what happened he will go crazy. Liza. I don't like him very much. He just asked me for things. Issei. Now don't worry, now you will have a normal life. Clare. We're getting there. Issei. Get behind me. They both nodded and stood behind Issei as that blow came again. Until they left the portal and the first to open his eyes was Issei. And he was surprised by what he saw. Clare opened hers in the same way. Clare. We're in a bad place, aren't we? Issei. I know. You two stay behind me, he doesn't like this. Having a serious face and looking around. There had been a great silence in the place where they were because of what they were seeing. What is a filthy human doing in the sand? Shouted one of the audience. Seconds later another scream. Issei didn't think anything of it until he saw someone. Issei. Thor, friend, it's you. The audience's eyes widened when they heard that. Issei changed his expression to one of joy since she knew someone and approached him. Issei. Go where I am. And what are you doing fighting? Thor. Disgusting human because you talk to me like that. Having a serious face. Issei. Hey, aren't you, maybe you're upset about the last battle. Plus your daughter liked it. Thor. I don't know what you're talking about, but you'd better die for interrupting my battle. Raising his hammer and being about to hit Issei. But when he was about to hit him, Issei stopped the blow with his hand. The entire audience had their jaws on the floor because of what he did. Even Thor showed surprise and put more pressure on your blow, but nothing happened. The only thing that was happening was that a crack was forming on Issei's feet. Issei. This is serious. I don't know why you act like this. But you're not Thor. Pushing Thor's hammer back. And going to the two girls. Thor. You think you'll escape from here so easily? Hey, your fight is with me. And you get out of here. Issei. Like. Just then the girl arrived and without saying anything she took Issei away from the place. Who are you and how did you get to this place? Issei. Well, my name is Issei and this is Clare and my little sister Liza. Tell me she's here because Thor fights him. This is a fight between the gods and the Einherjar to see if Ragnarok is done. Issei. Then I'm not at home. That's what he told himself. Issei. And who are you? My name is Brunhild and I am a Valkyrie. Issei. Great, just like Roswis. Brunhild. I don't know who she is. But she is my sister Gol. Gol. My pleasure. Brunhild. You don't seem surprised to know that you are in a place full of gods. Issei. I don't have friends who are gods too. Both Valkyries were surprised to hear that. Brunhild. You're not joking. Almost everyone hates humans. Issei. I'm not from this world. I come from another place. Brunhild. Now I understand why you talk to Thor Sama like that. Issei. Yes, we are friends. I also take care of his daughter. Gol. He has a daughter, that's new. Brunhild. This is confusing at the same time. Issei. Well, if he is here, Odin's old man must also be where he is. Brunhild. Speak with more respect, maybe you're not afraid. Issei. Not at all. Brunhild. Well, it's over there. Pointing in a direction. Issei seeing the old man was surprised since he looked younger and had black hair. Issei. Wow, she looks younger. And more serious. Brunhild. That's him. Issei. And who is that old man over there? Brunhild. This is Usama. Issei. You're kidding, right? He is almost in the bones. How he became so old. Some gods could hear that conversation and got upset since they were being insulted. But Zeus, upon hearing that, got upset because he doesn't like it when you call him old. Zeus. Hermes, tell me that human is going to fight. Hermes. I don't know. But he looks very calm. Hermes. I'll do some research. Zeus just nodded. Liza. Ani-chan, I don't like this place very much. Issei. Don't worry, nothing bad will happen. And if something happens I'm going to defend you. Giving him a smile which Liza returned. Brunhild. What will they do now? Issei. Just wait. I don't know how long it will take for me to return home. I'm already getting tired of this. But leaving that aside, who is the guy with the spear? Brunhild. This is Lupu. The strongest human. Issei. That's great, but it's a shame. Gol. What a thing. Issei. He's going to lose. Brunhild. The fight has just started and I can see that Lupu has the advantage. Issei. I know Thor more or less and I can tell that they fight something similar. So I can say that he is not giving his all. Brunhild. You say this because of his divine hammer, Mjolnir, and 2 divine gloves, Jarngreeper. Issei. I don't know what divine gloves is, but maybe. Brunhild. You said that you fought with Thor Sama with whom you fought the most. Issei. It's hard to remember. I think with Loki, Susanoo and some dragons and other people. Brunhild. How did you beat them? Perhaps you have a divine weapon against the gods. The gods were surprised to hear that and wanted to know if he has such a weapon. Issei. Not at all. I use my own fists to fight. Brunhild. I can't see much strength in you. And I'm good at that since I chose the fighters. Issei. Never underestimate your rival and that was their mistake. But leaving that aside, why don't you look at your fighter? Brunhild turned around and noticed how Lu Bu had broken his legs. Issei. I told you. After that, Lu Bu's horse arrived and he climbed onto his companion, starting the fight again. When both attacks collided, Lu Bu lost an arm, but he still did not give up and continued fighting with a smile. Clare. Issei, I don't like this. Issei. I know. But we can't do anything besides he is happy about this battle. Perhaps he had never fought so much against someone. Clare. I see. Do you think something will happen to us while we are here? Issei. As I told Liza, don't worry, as long as I'm here, nothing will happen. And if someone tries it, he will know the consequences. She continued watching the fight until she saw how Lu Bu lost his head and how Thor was about to leave, but Lu Bu's companions went to the attack too and lost, but left with a smile. Announcer. The fight against Or and Lu is over. Victor. Thor. Match length. 16 minutes and 28 seconds. Decide to move. Thor Gerard's hammer. Humans 0-1 gods. The gods applauded knowing that they won their first game. While humans were sad to lose someone. Brunhild left the place with her sister. Issei followed her to know that he would pass accompanied by both girls. Chapter 95. Issei. What will happen now? Duel. It will start a second battle, but it is sad to see this. Issei. I can tell. I'm not a fan of battles, but that's life. Brunhild. They gave their lives for good. Issei. And who will fight now? Brunhild. I have no choice but to send him to him. Showing a picture and surprising Issei. Duel. To the first human. Brunhild. He is the person who hates the gods the most. Issei. I never thought about meeting the first human. Brunhild. Issei, I know you're not from here, but you want to fight too. Issei. But all the competitors are already on the list. Brunhild. I'll leave someone free. And tell me you accept. Issei. If it is for the good of the people I will do it. Brunhild. Thank you. Clare. Issei, are you sure you do? They are strong people with great skills. Issei. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Brunhild. Yes. So how about you fight right now? Issei. You weren't going to kill Adam. Brunhild. It can wait. He is one of the last people I want to send. Issei. Good. Then I'm ready. Liza. Ani-chan, good luck, I'll be supporting you. Clare. I wish you luck. Approaching Issei and giving him a hug. Issei. Don't worry, I won't lose and I can't do it yet. Giving them both a smile. Zeus. So they will send the new one. Hermes, you discovered something. Hermes. There is no information of that type. So it will be an unknown fight, it may be easy. Zeus. Don't be overconfident. You recently observed that someone fought the Norse god Thor. Against me he will not have a chance to win. That shows what we gods are capable of. The person just nodded and got up towards the fighting arena. Minutes later. Presenter. Everyone is ready. The entire audience screamed with excitement as they wanted to see another great battle. The most excited were the gods since they had a victory. Presenter. On the part of human beings there is a change and the competitor will be the human who came out of nowhere. Pointing to the entrance where Issei came out walking calmly with a smile and waving to the public. The gods hate him and few humans supported him since they did not know who he was. Presenter. And on the most important side, welcome the god of the Hindu pantheon. The one of the great gods Shiva. Entering with a big smile greeting all the gods plus those of his pantheon. His wives supported him as did his children. Both competitors were face to face. Shiva. We have to finish this quickly. Issei. We agree with that. Clare. Brunhild, he is a strong person. Brunhild. Yes he is. He is one of the strongest gods in the pantheon and has great strength. Issei won't have it easy. Liza. Don't worry, Ani-chan said she was going to win and she will. Both competitors distanced themselves until the presenter began. The first to move was Issei, who went at great speed, hitting Shiva in the face, sending him crashing into a wall. The audience was open-mouthed when they heard that, since only the gods could see his speed. Shiva. It wasn't bad. I thought it would hurt, but it was nothing. Issei. You know, I haven't fought someone strong for a long time. I hope you are a challenge because I haven't had a big battle since I fought the ice giants. Shiva. I hope you don't regret it. Moving quickly with the intention of hitting Issei, but when he was about to hit him Issei evaded and hit and kicked him in the back. Brunhild. How do I avoid it? Who is he? Clare. Someone who helps others. But I know very little about his abilities because where I come from I don't fight much. Shiva. Well, we have to get serious. Getting up again and going at Issei wanting to hit him, but Issei stopped his fist with his hand. Shiva used his other hand to hit him, but Issei stopped the blow. Shiva just smiled and used his other arm, but Issei stopped the blow using his leg as a shield. Issei. You won't have it that easy, friend. Because they want to kill humans. Shiva. It's not obvious, it's because they are weak, dirty, stupid and only looking for problems. It's better if we get rid of some weaklings. Issei. I won't deny that there are people like that, but there are also people who are good and fight to get ahead. So I won't let anyone die. Giving a serious look at Shiva. At that Issei lets go of Shiva and hits him in the stomach and then a kick in the stomach that sends him flying a little in the air. Issei gave him another kick, only in the face. Zeus. That human is not normal. Shiva couldn't even hit him. Hermes. Maybe Shiva-sama is holding back to have fun and give hope to humans. Zeus. Maybe. Shiva. Where does this human get strength from? Spitting out a little blood. Shiva. I hadn't seen my blood in years. It's time to end this. Running against Issei at a high speed leaving a character from the momentum. When he was about to hit Issei he evaded the blow and hit him in the ribs. Shiva. How you saw me. Issei. You're very slow. Shiva hearing that became more angry hearing that. Shiva. I see, if so, I'll show you something. Starting to run to the sides creating images with his speed. Shiva. How about now? You won't be able to evade so many blows at once. Issei. Interesting. I can too. Moving faster than Shiva created twice as many images as Shiva hitting each copy. The entire audience was apparently shocked. But Brunhild is happy to see Issei's demonstration. Shiva got up from the ground and started dancing. Brunhild. That is a very powerful one, the more she dances, the stronger and faster she will become. Shiva started blowing smoke as he was overheating. Moving faster than normal, she fought against Issei, connecting her fist into Issei's face, smashing him into the wall. The gods of his pantheon celebrated when they saw that. Issei. You finally got serious. Then I will do it too. Stretching her arms and moving at the same speed as Shiva and grabbing him by the face and going against the wall, starting to drag him over her. Then she threw him into the air, giving him a kick that left him crashing to the ground. Issei, without further games, went to the place where he fell and grabbed his foot and began to spin him around in the air and then against the ground, making Shiva spit out blood. Issei. Well, I thought you would last longer honestly. Shiva. You are not human. Issei. Yes, I am. Well, now that I remember, Thor said the name of his ability when he won. The truth is I don't have anything like that, so I'll invent something. Lifting Shiva from the ground and began to hit him, with each blow he destroyed a bone of Shiva. Shiva was barely standing. Issei. It's the first time I'll use this, I hope it works. Using both of his arms putting more strength into each one. Issei. Deadly blows. First he hit him several times and then gave him 4 blows on Shiva's chest, creating 4 holes in it. Then with just one hand he put more force and pierced Shiva's chest with great speed that made Shiva's body explode. The entire stadium fell silent upon seeing that. Chapter 96. Everyone was surprised by what happened. More so the gods since they lost against a human. Brunhild was more surprised since she didn't think how strong he would be. Clare was the same way as she had never seen him fight this seriously. Issei for her part let out a sigh and left the place. Presenter. This one. The winner is the human side. Little by little the humans began to applaud until later they screamed with excitement since they had already won a battle. Shiva vs Issei. Victor. Issei. Match length. 1 minute and 15 seconds. The side move. Mortal blows. Humans 1-1 gods. When Issei arrived where the 4 girls were, he noticed her surprise. Issei. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. Brunhild. You're joking, right? You just took down one of the most powerful gods like it was nothing. And you say it's not that big of a deal. Issei. Well, if you put it that way. Lol. Plus you saw it very quickly. How are you that strong? Liza. Ani-chan, you are the best. Running towards him and giving him a hug. Issei. Train. Brunhild. You're joking, right? Issei. What do I gain by lying? Brunhild. The truth is I was very surprised. Thanks to you we have hope of winning. Issei. I will fight to win. Clare. When you fought with me you held back a lot, right? Issei. A little. I'm sorry, Clare. Don't apologize. Seeing how strong you are, you would have killed me with the first blow. Issei. Hahaha, don't exaggerate. Brunhild. Well, for now you won't be able to participate, so I'll have to send another fighter. Issei. I see. The 5 headed to the living room to eat a little. Issei. This cake is very good. Brunhild. I know it's one of my favorites. How can they eat in such a situation? Issei. No need to stress, calm down. Clare. Issei is right, please calm down. And like a little. Just let out a sigh and sat down to eat too. Minutes later they decided who was going to compete. Issei. Nice to meet you, Kajiro Sasaki. Sasaki. You put up a good fight. Issei. I wish you luck friend. Sasaki. Thank you. The six headed to the stadium again. Zeus. We can't let them win the next round. Ares. Let me participate. No, I won't. Zeus. You're surely possessed. Poseidon. Yes. Poseidon. It won't be a big deal. But I also want to fight that human, it's interesting. Besides being cute. Don't talk nonsense, I won because Shiva trusted himself. He's an idiot. Zeus. Having made this clear, let's go to the stadium too. Everyone made their way to their seats and watched the fight. Minutes passed and both competitors were in the stadium ready to fight. Well elsewhere. Azazel. Everything is ready. But remember you will have to wait a few days to be able to return. Broswis. Yes we already know. Astrid. You're lucky Enterprise to go. Enterprise. Yes. Athena. Let's go then. The others nodded and teleported from the place. Issei and company were watching the fight until Issei felt something behind him and turned around, the others did the same. That's when 4 people came out. Issei was happy when he saw them. And they too. Broswis. Issei. He quickly went to him and gave him a hug which he reciprocated. Issei. How did they get here? Broswis. Azazel created a machine and well here we are. We went to look for you somewhere else but you left. Enterprise. Issei. Issei. Enterprise how come? Enterprise. The truth is I missed you and I didn't want to be alone again. Issei. I'm glad to see you. Giving him a hug too. Issei. Athena, Aphrodite how are you? Approaching and giving them a hug. Brunhold and Goal were surprised to hear those 2 names. Aphrodite. Where are we? Issei. It's a bit of a long story. We are in a fight between gods and humans. Also fight Shiva. Broswis. Seriously against him. But it is very strong. Issei. Broswis, let me introduce you, she is Brunhold and Goal, and they are also Valkyries. They help humans. Broswis. Nice to meet you. Brunhold. I say the same. It is one more pleasure to meet another person just like Aphrodite. Aphrodite. There's someone else here. Issei. Yes there is. It's over there. Pointing to a person, Aphrodite saw her and was surprised by how she was. Aphrodite. Those people are there. Issei. Yes, the beauty, I was also surprised to find out who he was. Are very different. Plus Roswis, there's Odin. Pointing to another person. When she saw him, she was also surprised since he was younger and more serious. Issei. And the old man in the center is Zeus. Not this old one. Athena. There are many changes. Plus there are many surprises. And tell me who is fighting. Issei. Sasaki and Poseidon. Enterprise. There is not some day that I am a good person. Issei. Talbs, but before continuing. I haven't introduced you to Clare and my sister. Clare. Nice to meet you, Issei told me about you a long time ago. This is my sister Liza. Liza. Nice to meet Ani-chan's other girlfriends. So you are also my Wani-chan's. The girls were a little surprised but gave the girl a smile for what she said. Athena. Nice to meet you Liza-chan. Zeus. Where did those 4 girls come from? They are very girls. In addition to the previous one. Hermes. Then you wish. Zeus. That's right. Send someone to bring them to me, I want to have fun. Forming a smile on her face. Hermes just nodded and called for other guards to bring the girls. Issei. Something interesting has happened in my absence. Broswis. At the moment everything is calm. Issei. I see. The war in the underworld ends. Athena. After your departure it ended. They left. Broswis. Issei I can see your face and don't worry. The office is alive. Issei. But how did I see her die? Broswis. She sent half of her power elsewhere. Only now she is a little weaker. Issei. I'm glad you're okay. And when we will return? Enterprise. In a week. You have to recharge the machine. So we'll have to wait a bit. Issei. I see that's better since I have to help too. Brunhold. Issei, what kind of people do you associate with? It's not normal for you to get along with goddesses. Issei. With few. Athena. He is a friend of our Olympian faction since he defeated Ares in a battle. Broswis. He is also loved in Asgard since he defeated an army of frost giants alone. And they also built him a statue on par with the gods. Aphrodite. He is also loved by the Yakes, by the angels, by the fallen angels, the demons, the Shinto gods and what I missed. Broswis. I think it would be everyone. Both Valkyries were with their mouths on the ground upon hearing such a list since they never imagined that. Brunhold. Issei. Seriously looking at it. Issei for her part just laughed a little while she scratched the back of her neck. Issei. It's good to have friends you can trust. Goal. You keep so many secrets Issei. So that they love you so much. Issei. Nothing that I know. Brunhold. Tell me how powerful Issei is. Broswis. The truth is very much. And we also don't know what its limit is. Brunhold. With your help we can stop Ragnarok. Issei. We're going to try. That's when some hideouts arrived. Lady Zusama wants you five to go see him. So you could join us. Broswis. We're fine here. Brindled. Besides, they are with me so leave. You know what Zusama is like so you better pay attention or else. Issei. Or else what? Taking a serious look at both layers. Chapter 97. Are you defying Zusama's orders? Issei. I don't care if he's Zeus. But they aren't going anywhere. Then you will have to die here because of how disrespectful you are. Brindled. They should know the situation they are getting into. We only follow our orders and he is only human. Brundled. A human who killed Shiva-sama. The other gods say that it was luck since Shiva-sama trusted himself so. Issei. I'm tired of this stupid pointless fight. Killing innocent beings. It does not matter what you say. It is better to kill him, we have to end this. Issei. Yes, it's better to finish this. Both hideouts went against Issei and others waited and then took the women. Issei just waited for them and when they arrived he killed them with one blow just like the other guards. With so much force that he used it, he even destroyed half a stadium, causing a large explosion. The battle stopped and everyone looked in that direction. As the smoke dispersed they saw Issei standing there. Issei. It's time to end such senseless war. Zeus. Perhaps you are defying the gods. Plus you killed my hideouts. Issei. I did it for a good cause and that was that you want to take these girls that you are with me. Zeus. Women like that should not be next to a human. Athena. We decide who to be with and that's Issei. Zeus. Kill that human and bring those women to me. And whoever achieves it is granted whatever he wants. The other gods were surprised to hear that but were glad they wouldn't always have that opportunity. Several began to get up. Brunhild. Issei, you must leave here, you won't be able to handle so many gods. Issei. I promise to fight to defend my loved one so I won't leave here. Broswis, I want to ask you a favor. Broswis. I know what you're going to say and that's fine, we'll do it, but promise to come back. Issei. I always keep my promises. Go away. Broswis. Brunhild-san, please take us to another place. Brunhild. But. Aphrodite. Trust yes. Liza. Ani-chan, please don't be late. Clare. Come back soon. Issei. That's how it will be. Turning around and giving all the girls a smile. At that Brunhild guides them to a safer place and Issei becomes serious. Issei. This will be a long time. Letting out a sigh and moving at a god-killing speed. Completely destroying his face. Issei jumped and fell into the battle arena and all the gods went against Issei. A Hindu god approached seeking revenge but Issei punched him in the stomach, making an oil on him. Issei noticed how he had a sword and took it and killed several that were approaching him. Issei. They call themselves gods, but they are weak. Upon hearing that, they went against Issei in groups. But Issei was still just as serious and he hoped every god didn't care who he was. Zeus. Because they don't kill him. Hermes. That human moves very fast and every blow he gives is deadly, plus he knows how to use the sword well. Zeus. That doesn't matter, send more against him. Them sending the rest of the fighters with them will be enough. Hermes nodded and called to the rest of the competitors. Minutes passed and there were several corpses on the ground and Issei still with few injuries. You will reach your limit soon so you better give up. Issei. I can be like this all day. You know, I trained for years for these situations and I won't die so easily. Hahaha, you must know that Zusama gets bored of women quickly since he uses them a lot. And when he does it we take advantage. Issei. Those will be your last words. The god was going to respond but Issei hit him in the face, destroying it completely. Issei. I was going to have a little compassion with you but I can see your lust and I hate that so I will make you suffer. Going at one and taking his arms and breaking his bones. Everyone could hear his cries of pain. But when Issei finished, he ripped off the head and threw it at someone. The god, upon taking it, instantly noticed that Issei was in front of him. And he couldn't react in time to attack as Issei put his hand through his chest and ripped out his heart. Some gods were scared by the massacre he was doing. It was the first time that some gods were afraid of humans. All the humans were surprised by what they saw since a single human was fighting hundreds of gods. Issei. If you're so brave, come down here, you decrepit old man. Zeus, upon hearing that, got upset and was going to go, but Hermes grabbed him by the shoulder. Hermes. It is not yet time, Zusama, they are coming. Zeus. I see. Forming a smile on his face. The gods that were in the stadium moved aside as 9 people passed by. So you're the one causing so much fuss, you're not that big of a deal. But I must give you credit for doing all this so you can have some fun. Issei. So you are the rest of the fighters. Taking away old Zeus and Aten. You have the courage to speak like this in front of us. Don't you have any manners, brat? Issei. If you want respect you must give it. I am a god to respect a human, hahaha, you are crazy. Issei. Let me guess, you're the jester of the Loki group, no. When he heard what I called him, he got upset. And he was about to attack Issei, but Thor stopped him. Thor. How could you stop my previous attack? Issei. I fought with someone just like you. They fight almost similar, only he is happier and you are boring, but let's leave the talk and let's get to the action since I have to look for my companions. The first to go on the attack was Thor, throwing his hammer at him. Thor expected Issei to crouch down like Lubu did, but he saw how Issei was still standing there. Seconds later the hammer was about to hit Issei, but he stopped it with his hand. Surprising most. That Issei makes more harrowing, making the hammer creak and cracks form. Seconds later he broke into pieces. Everyone's eyes were wide open, especially Thor, when they saw how his weapon was destroyed. Odin. That human is not normal. He said it with a neutral face, but inside he was surprised. Aphrodite. He is cute and also strong. Issei. Let's leave the toys at home. Thor. How dare you call my weapon a toy? Issei didn't take it into account and moved quickly, being close to Thor, giving him a big blow to the stomach that sent him flying towards a wall. The others went against Issei, but he evades his attacks. Issei. Just because they are gods they don't think it's a big deal. Going at one and hitting him in the face and burying him in the ground. Without wasting time he went against another since he wanted to end those battles and go against one person. Ronald. This is impossible. Since they were watching the battle through a hologram. Roswis. This is Issei when he gets serious. Oh. But I destroy that without much effort. Aphrodite. Issei keeps many secrets. Enterprise. It's the first time I've seen him fight very seriously. Clare. Me too. It's amazing. Liza. Ani-chan is the best. All the girls continued to watch the battle. Chapter 98. A few hours had passed and those who had suffered the most were the gods, and Loki was in the worst condition since he attacked Issei like crazy. Issei. They're done resting. You're making fun of us shitty humans. Issei. Now you talk to me like that, it shows that they have no manners. Annoying the god that caused him and another to go on the attack. The three others, when they were about to reach Issei, he received them by kicking each of them. Thor. How is it possible we are more than him because we didn't beat him? Issei. It's time to finish this game, don't you believe it? Taking something out of his pocket. Issei. 100 on. Activating his armor. The girls were surprised when they saw that. Roswis. Where did that armor come from? Clare. When he was in my world they gave it to him, but he only used it once. Enterprise. That's great. Aphrodite. Yes it is. At that Issei put the spear on his back and went against the first one he saw. He grabbed him by the neck and then put him on one of his legs and started hitting him in the face at a high speed until he completely destroyed his face. At the end he approached another and began to hit him in the face and then hit him in the neck which broke it and finally hit him in the face. Falling dead. The other gods could only think that Issei was playing with them. Loki. You weren't seriously fighting us. Issei. I always fight seriously. Running towards Loki and grabbing his face and smashing it into the wall, destroying it completely. Thor. Loki. He said it shouting while Odin just clenched his fists as they killed his son. Thor was going to go against Go, but he was already behind him. Issei. Goodbye. Reaching his hand into Thor's back, pulling out his heart. Causing Thor's death. Issei. So you are Ares. You know I fought with you once and you know I don't like you at all. Ares for his part was going to respond, but Issei approached him and hit him several times, destroying his body completely. Zeus was worse than Odin when he saw how someone close to him died in front of him. Issei was killing the rest of the missing gods until there was only one left that Issei had on the ground. Issei. You looked very arrogant recently, Poseidon. You reminded me of a person who believes in the strongest. You know I hate conceited people. Putting pressure on his legs and destroying Poseidon's head. Issei also saw the side of him seeing the last gods since he had wiped out 90% of all of them. Some escaped the fear of dying. Having his serious look he spoke. Issei. It's your turn, Bones, and yours, Mummy. Zeus. You caused a great disaster with your arrival. You ruined everything. Issei. I'm often in trouble so I had to get used to it. Odin. You are dead and I will do it in the worst possible way since you killed my children. Issei. You finally speak. And you know I like the other Odin, he's happier. Both gods stood up from their seats and in a second they were in front of Issei. Zeus. I will have no mercy on you. Starting to believe and enlarge his muscles. Issei. Wow, you're not just bones. Zeus. When I finish this I will have to have disappointments again. So I will use your women. He didn't finish as Issei punched him in the face. Issei. Look old man, talk to me however you want but don't mention them. If you do, only death awaits you. Odin was going to attack Issei from behind by driving his spear into Issei's chest, but he quickly turned around and took it. Issei. You play dirty, but what can you expect from these gods? Approaching Odin and punching him in the stomach, causing him to spit out blood and fly away. Issei. Get out of there, old man. I didn't even hit you that hard. Little by little Zeus emerged from the rubble with a broken nose. Zeus. You are dead. He went against Issei and tried to hit him, but Issei without much difficulty had hit him with his hand. Issei. What's the point of having so many muscles if you're slow? Taking Zeus's hands and kicking him in the stomach. Brunhild. How is it possible that they are not even rivals for him? Duel. They are the most powerful gods there are. Roswis. I told you that Issei usually gives a lot of surprises when you meet him. That's why it's not good to underestimate him. Athena. Because if someone does that, he will have to assume the consequences. Enterprise. The truth is it is incredible to know that not even the gods are rivals for Issei. So yes, it is like that. Who could be his rival? Aphrodite. We don't know. Maybe there is someone who might give you a lot of fight. Clare. Who? Aphrodite. Great Red, the true dragon god. Although he has never fought, but it is known that he is very strong. Roswis. I just hope that day never comes. Because if Issei runs into someone even stronger than him, it only means that the world is in danger. Enterprise. Because. Roswis. If you both bump fists it will only cause disasters around you. I hope an enemy of such great snow never arrives. No one responded and they continued watching the fight. Issei approached Odin to kick him, but the confident one just ducked. But Issei used his other leg to hit him, making him spit out blood from the blow. Issei. We have to finish this. Zeus. It's the first time we both agree. Going against Issei. And he hit him in the face, but Issei didn't even move from his place. Then Issei punched him in the face, making Zeus spit out some teeth. Issei approached Odin and took the weapon from him. Issei. Your own weapon will kill you. I thought you would be stronger since you looked more serious. But you're weaker than I thought. Odin. Damn human. Issei didn't say anything else and drove Odin's spear into his skull, killing him instantly. When he turned around he noticed how Zeus was coming towards him. Issei for his part just let out a sigh. Issei. I don't understand why they attack without thinking. Thus they only cause their own defeat. Issei. Goodbye Zeus. I thought you would be strong since that is what others said. I went against him and hit him in the face, only this time I completely destroyed his face. The stadium was empty as the humans had disappeared and the gods had left. Issei was in a very quiet place full of corpses. Some without arms and others without heads and some with a hole in their chest. Issei thoughts. I thought that being gods they would give me more of a fight, but in the end they were very weak. Someday I will find someone who will force me to break my limits. Letting out a sigh and turning around. As he did so, someone hugged him. Issei. Liza. Liza. Ani-chan, you are the best. Nobody can with you. Issei. I fight for you. Brunhild. You destroyed almost all the gods. Issei. Now what will happen? Brunhild. There will be no Ragnarok and I don't think the gods who fled will dare attack the humans. Since they will think that you will be there to help them. Issei. I see. Brunhild. Thanks for the help. Issei. No problem. Brunhild. You are someone with many surprises, really. I would love to see that in the future. Duel. He's not planning. Brunhild. That's right. So now that I'm not going to war for a few long years, I'll take the time to explore a little. Roswis. But we will have to wait since we are a week away from returning. At that moment the crack opened. Issei. Because whenever the problems end, that thing appears. Well, since everything is over, how about we go? Athena. Are you sure? We can wait. Issei. We don't lose anything with this. Come on. The girls looked at each other and nodded in confirmation. Brunhild approached her sister and gave her a hug and then she went with the rest and left the place. Chapter 99. Roswis. Where will we end up? Issei. It doesn't matter where we go. The important thing is that we will be together. The girls just gave him a smile. Seconds later they saw that great light until they reached their destination. Athena opened her eyes and was happy. Athena. We returned home. Little by little the girls opened their eyes again and were happy with where they were. Seraphil. It didn't take them that long to get back, but where is Issei? Roswis. What is he talking about? Looking around but it wasn't there. Enterprise. Something bad happened. He was with us, we had already found him. Astrid. Something happened. Clare. We don't know. Aphrodite. We'll have to go look for him again. Azazel. You will have to wait a little but first, who are the three new people? Brunhild. My name is Brunhild and I am a Valkyrie. Clare. I'm Clare Harvey and this is my sister Liza. Liza. Hello everyone. You can. Then we'll have to search again. Maybe they don't want me to come back. Lefay. We'll have to wait but first. What was the place they went to? Roswis letting out a sigh began to tell her story. Issei came out of the portal and saw that she was in a large forest. When she turned around she noticed that she was alone. Issei. Where did I end up? That does not matter now. Most importantly, I hope the girls are okay and not in danger. Looking around. Issei. But what kind of place did I end up in? I just have to explore and find a city. Taking path. As he did so he looked around and was surprised at how beautiful the place was. An hour passed and I couldn't find a way out. But when he took another step he heard a loud roar not far away. Issei. I better get out of here. I don't want to know what kind of creature that is. He was about to leave, but the beast was already seeing him in the distance. Issei. Don't bother, that's a dragon. Taking a step back. As he did so he saw the dragon take a step as well. And I noticed how he was standing on two legs. Issei. Don't bother, it's huge, it's like that dragon called Tannen. He was about to leave, but the dragon moved to his position with the intention of attacking him. For her part, Issei dodged the blow. Issei. I better finish this quickly and get out of here. Taking attack position. Seconds later the dragon used one of his abilities to teleport and was close to Issei. Using his tail and sending Issei flying away from the place. Issei got up and went against the dragon, jumping and giving it a big blow in the face. The dragon falling to the ground. When Issei fell, he also took an attack position but noticed that the dragon was not moving, so he approached it and noticed that he was dead. Issei. I thought you were going to resist more, but this is better. I don't feel like fighting. He was about to leave, but he felt the dragon calling him, so he touched it and closed his eyes for a moment. Seconds later he felt a tingle. Issei. What is this? Taking a seat near the corpse and closing his eyes again. While he was like this he felt something different in his body. He felt a little stronger. He was like that for about 5 minutes, and when he opened his eyes again he didn't see the dragon's corpse, but he felt something. Issei. I feel my strength increase and I feel a little lighter. What the hell happened here? Where I came to stop. Lying down on the ground. Issei. There's no use thinking about where I am right now. First, the most important thing is to find a place where I can know my situation. Getting up and going back on his way. It was like this for 3 days. At that time no creature approached him and that seemed strange, but he didn't take it much importance since it was better that way. He hunted some animal to eat and when he tried it he was shocked at how good it was. Issei. I've been like this for 3 days and I haven't found anything. Is this forest so big? He continued on his way. As he did so he noticed that it was getting dark and he ran a little since it was going to rain. He ran for a while until he came across a cave and without thinking much he entered the place. Issei. I'll have to wait a bit until I can go out again. She took a seat and leaned back to wait. When she closed her eyes she felt footsteps. And he stood up suddenly and not far away he saw a large bear between black and red. And he also had like armor. Issei. What kind of bear is that? Well there's no use asking since no one will tell me. For its part, the bear heard Issei's voice and quickly went against him. Using one of his claws he was about to kill Issei, but he evaded the attack and hit him in the face, destroying it completely. Issei. I thought he would resist more since he had that armor. These animals look strong, but they are weak. Letting out a sigh. He was about to go somewhere else since he didn't want to have that corpse nearby, but he had that feeling again and he walked over and took a seat again and repeating the process. At the end he got up from the ground. And he noticed that he had already stopped raining. But it was night. Issei. How long was it like this? And because bodies always disappear. But again I have this feeling like when I beat that dragon. He put his hand on his chin to think, but no idea came to him. Issei. I have to get out of this forest. I have to know what's going on here. Laying down again and falling asleep. The next day he walked a little until he found a lake and decided to take a bath since he had not done so for a few days. When he finished he returned to his path. And he noticed how the creatures this time ran away from him quickly. Issei. Maybe I stink or what? Shrugging his shoulders he continued on his way. Issei. I'm tired. After walking it's time to jump a little. Starting to run and then taking a big jump. As he did so he noticed how spacious the forest was. Issei. I should have done this sooner. As he was falling he noticed a village in the distance and was glad to know that there was something nearby. Issei. Great. When he fell to the ground he began to run and take big jumps to reach his destination quickly. While in the village. We can't against him. Not for nothing is he a holy spirit of battle. You don't have to give up or else. We won't be able to stay in this place. We have to work as a team. The others around him nodded and supported his idea. Are you ready to give up, brats? If you do it now you will be able to leave here with some pride. Or maybe they want to leave with nothing. We will beat you. The boys stood up and took an attack position. When one was about to do it, Issei fell between them. Issei. I finally arrived. He said it with a big smile. But as he finished saying that he looked around and saw a serious man and some injured boys. Issei. I'm interrupting something. Brat, get out of here. Or you want to fight too. Issei. I didn't mean to do it, but they're hurting me. Are you okay? If anything, you also come for the test. Issei. No. I really don't know what's going on here, but I'll help. Taking attack position. Chapter 100. Ahahaha, you won't be able to do anything, brat. Issei didn't say anything and went at him, giving him a blow in the stomach that sent him to the sky, and when he was about to fall, he kicked him that left him embedded in the wall. When the smoke cleared, the unconscious person was there. When the others saw that, their eyes widened since he defeated him very easily. Issei. They're fine now. Yes, but how did you do that? Without using any of your abilities. Issei. What are you talking about? Rather, because they were fighting with him. It's a test to enter this academy, maybe you didn't know that. Issei. This is an academy. Looking at the sides and noticing how old it was. Issei. It's a bit neglected. Where you come from? Since I didn't see you when the others were there. Issei. From the forest. How could you survive since it is a dangerous place to walk alone? Issei. I was lucky maybe. Too much I would say. Issei. Excuse my manners, my name is Issei, my pleasure. Nice to meet you, my name is Tang-san too. I am Xiao Wu. My name is Rongrong Ning. I am Zhu King, Zhu. The pleasure, I'm Yu Bai, Dai. And I'm Oscar, how are you? Issei thoughts. Those names are great. Issei. My pleasure. Tang-san. Tell me brother Issei what spiritual rank you are. Issei. What is that? Yu Bai. Like you don't know what it is. So is a survivor in the forest and how you defeated Master Zhao. Issei. Train a little. Tang-san. You don't know what level you are. Issei. No idea what that is. Tang-san. Okay then. My spiritual weapon is blue silver grass rank 29 spiritual master specializing in control. Xiao Wu. Rank 29 attack type fighting master rabbit spirit beast. Zhu King. Rank 27 agility spiritual master dark cat spirit beast specialized in fast attack. Ning Rongrong. Rank 26 support type spirit master 7-story crystal tower spiritual weapon. Yu Bai. Rank 32 white tiger spiritual master white tiger attack type spiritual weapon. Oscar. Rank 28 food holder type spiritual weapon. Issei had a serious face when listening to all that, but inside I didn't understand what he was talking about. Issei. Sounds great. Yu Bai. You don't know what we were talking about, right? Issei. Not really. The thing is, I'm from a small town and well, we don't know anything about that. Tang-san. I see. Yu Bai. Wait, I'll be back in a few minutes. Leaving the place. Issei. Where did he go? Tang-san. To find something to measure your spiritual power. You're strong brother Issei. You defeated Master Zhao at level 76 8th rank. Issei. Great really. Oscar. You have a very strange style of clothing. Issei. This is how they dress where I'm from. After a few minutes, Yu Bai arrived with a blue sphere. Yu Bai. Please take this sphere. Issei just paid attention and when he took it he shined a little and everyone was curious to know his level. When they saw him, everyone was surprised by his level, no one could believe it. Issei. Something bad is happening. Yu Bai. Of course. Your level is 42. Issei. That's good, no. Tang-san. Of course it's good. You have a very high level. How old are you? Issei. 16. Everyone was surprised to know his age, since he had a very high spiritual level at that age. Xiao Wu. But if he has a level it means he must have 4 rings, doesn't it? Issei. Rings. Tang-san. Obtained by killing creatures in the forest. Issei. Now that I remember, I ran into 2 on my way so I killed them. How do I do that? Yu Bai. It's not that difficult look. Taking a step back and showing him his rings and his white tiger. Issei seeing him was surprised and excited. Yu Bai. I'll just specify. Issei nodded and closed his eyes and when he opened them. I looked down and not as 2 black rings formed. Everyone was shocked to see that. Since it would be impossible. Issei. Something's wrong. Yu Bai. Of course. Maybe you don't know what ring you have. Issei. No. Tang-san. You have 2 10,000-year spirit rings. Issei. And how does the ring thing work? Tang-san. It's like that. The white. 10 years spirit ring. Yellow. 100 years spirit ring. The purple one. 1,000 years spirit ring. The black one. 10,000 years spirit ring. The red one. 100,000 years spirit ring. Issei. I understand. Wrong. Brother Issei, what kind of creatures did you kill? Issei. The first was a large dragon and the second was like a bear in armor. Xiao Wu. You're lucky. Besides, it's great that you've achieved that. Yu Bai. I have never heard of someone who would initiate with 10,000-year spirit rings since it would be impossible for the person to die trying. Tang-san. This is unique. Issei. Well since everything is fine I'll leave here. I have to continue my path. Yu Bai. Wait. Issei. Yes. Yu Bai. You don't want to join Shrek Academy. Even if you are older than us, I know that you can stay if the director knows about your abilities. Issei. I don't want to cause trouble. Yu Bai. Don't worry, I'll talk to him. For the moment you go to rest since you are weak from the fight. Oscar, take them to his room. He just nodded and led the entire team. Issei. Because there are so few students. Oscar. This academy does not admit weak people, only monsters with high levels and skill. But you are a super monster. Issei. Honestly, I don't know if I'm happy to hear that. Thanks-san. Nobody is normal here. So you'll have to get used to it. I hope we get along well in the future. Issei. Count on me. If something happens, call me. Juking. Where do you get so much energy from? Issei. Since I was very young I trained so I don't give up so easily. Thanks-san. But then I hope to hear about your abilities. Issei. Well, I'll try. Plus I have to get used to using those skills, well if I can, haha. Xiaowu. You're fun, not like Jeej, which is always boring. Thanks-san. You only think about fun always. Issei. I can tell that they have known each other for a long time. Thanks-san. We have known each other since we were children. Issei. Great, I also have two people that I have known since I was little. But right now they must be busy. Oscar. Well, we're here. That will be your cabin here, you will have to share. Issei and Tang-san just nodded and went to his room. Issei. It's a cozy place. Tang-san. Yes it is. Issei. Okay. I'll get some sleep since I haven't had the chance to do so. Lying down in his bed and falling asleep. While in an office. Bye. And that's it. It's hard to believe all that, but if you say it, it must be true. Bye. What will Director Flender do? Flender? For now he will stay here. Bye. He is a very sincere person since he didn't know what was happening or where he was. So you can trust him. Flender. I see. Furthermore, he has a high level despite being so young. He could already graduate from the academy. Bye. Well, see you. Flender just nodded and Bye left the place. Chapter 101. It was a new day in Issei, as he got used to getting up early, left his room and went to explore his surroundings, since he wanted to know more about the place where he was. Issei. Now that I think about it, the places I've gone and gotten something. Where Enterprise they gave me these cool shoes, where Clare this armor, and where Brunel they only gave me problems, and now here they gave me these spirit rings. Although the truth is they are great. I must learn to use them. I walk around until I reach a cabin that says dining room. So he decided to go in and make breakfast. When he finished breakfast he decided to continue exploring and stayed like that for several hours. Until when he was returning to the distance he saw someone and went to him. Issei. Tang-san and Xiaowu, what's going on here? Xiaowu. This guy doesn't want to let this girl go. Issei. I see. You can go calmly, yes. Giving the girl a smile. She nodded and left the place. Hey, what's wrong? Issei. If she didn't want to talk to you, it didn't cost you anything to stop bothering her. That's not how they do things. And you don't care what I do. Maybe you don't know who I am. Issei. Because I would know if I just met you. I am Hongjin, Ma, and I have a spirit beast of a phoenix. Tang-san and Xiaowu were surprised to hear that, and Issei not much, and Hongjin noticed. Hongjin. Do you think I'm lying? Issei. Not at all, it's just that I know a family who are phoenix. Now all three of them were surprised. Issei. I fought one. And I have an acquaintance who is kind, her name is Ravel. Tang-san. How is that possible? No one has seen a phoenix before. Since they are of legendary class and you know a whole family. Issei. What things aren't, hahaha. Hongjin. You play with me now, I'll show you who I am. Leaping back and activating her spirit beast. After a few seconds you could see a chicken. Xiaowu didn't ask for support and was able to laugh since he didn't look like a phoenix at all. An annoyed Hongjin went to the attack trying to hit Xiaowu, but Issei stopped his blow and applied a little force, making Hongjin fall to his knees in pain. Issei. Violence doesn't solve anything. So please leave it at that. I was about to respond, but then Bye arrived. And I take them to another place and explain Hongjin's situation. After that everyone went to the center of the academy where Fender had called them. After a few minutes I arrive and send Rongrong and Oscar to do about 20 laps. Oscar was happy to go with her. Fender. The rest do what you want. At nightfall I will take you to a place to see your skills. The group just nodded at what he said. After a few hours night came and everyone was arriving in the city. Some were surprised since it was their first time. Issei was the most surprised since he could see new places. After a walk they arrived at a large stadium where everyone went and registered with an iron badge. Bye. You can participate alone, also in groups of 2 and groups of up to 7 or 8. Issei. This is great. Bye. Issei, your level is something you can only face with people of level 40-50. So be careful. Issei. No problem, besides this is exciting, I want to see how strong they are here. Hongjin. Killing is prohibited here. Some just nodded as they wanted to measure their strength with others. At that point the group separated and went to look for a fighter. Finding one, Issei was quickly called to the stadium. Issei. Good luck. You better give up, brat. At that, the presenter told him that they will prepare Issei's rival by activating his rings and then taking out his spiritual beast, which would be a rhinoceros. Issei was surprised at what he was looking at. And what about you? Maybe you are afraid. Issei. Not at all. At that the presenter began and the first to move was Issei, who went against his rival, hitting him in the stomach that took him off the stage and left him embedded in a wall unconscious. The presenter was surprised since he defeated him easily and in a short time. Announcer. And the winner is Issei, and he also just got a new record, which is 02 seconds. The public screamed with excitement as there would be a new competitor to fear. Issei. It didn't last long. Letting out a sigh, he left the combat area to wait for the next one. A few hours passed and the fighting continued. Issei won without much difficulty until no one wanted to fight him out of fear. When he finished, Issei met up with the rest and everyone was surprised at what they had heard from him. Tang-san. You've only been there for a day and you already have 20 victories and no defeats, in addition to doing it quickly. You buy. Ami, it took me a long time to have the victories I have. And you make it easy. Issei. They were easy rivals. Hongjin. You lie. Those people were very strong. Issei. Don't care about it and let's go. Starting to walk to the exit, the others decided it was better not to say anything and left. The next day everyone was gathered since Flender had called them. Flender. Since Oscar has just reached rank 30, tomorrow they will go with Master Zhao to look for Oscar's third ring. But the mission now will be to eat one of the sausages that Oscar prepares. Xiaowu. But they taste very bad. Flender. They have to adapt to the situation. So who will be the first? Some were scared when they saw his face. Issei stepped forward and took one of the sausages and ate it. Tang-san. How are you? Issei. It doesn't taste like anything. Several saw it and the next one was wrong and finally the others who found it difficult to eat that. The next day everyone was outside the academy laughing as they were going to the forest to look for Oscar's third ring. You buy. Well, remember that there are dangerous creatures in there. So Tang-san and Issei will go to the front. Then Rongrong and Oscar in case something happens, and then Xiaowu and Hongjin, and finally Zhuking and I to cover. Everyone nodded and left towards the forest. They ran for 2 hours without a break. Oscar gave them one of his sausages to help them recover. Issei didn't eat one since he didn't feel tired at all. You buy. Night is coming, so let's go and rest, we are close to a place. The others nodded and went faster to the cabin. When they arrived everyone sat down and began to eat. A few seconds passed until some boys entered and several who were there were scared when they saw them. Issei. What's wrong with this environment? You buy. They are from Kangui Academy. They are very arrogant, they think they are great, it is better not to mess with them so as not to have problems. Oscar. But the director said that this is part of our training, since if we did not fight against others, we would not be spiritualists. One of the students approached the group to teach them a lesson, but everything went wrong since both Mu Bai and Tang-san were able to defend themselves against him. Mu Bai hit him and sent him flying to where his teacher was and he became upset, as did the rest of the students. Issei. You guys do like problems. Letting out a sigh as he watches how Xiaowu was struggling. Issei, for his part, decided to continue eating while the others took care of the rivals. Chapter 102. The group went outside the cabin so they could fight. Issei for his part stayed inside since he knew they could. After a few minutes of fighting, Master Zhao arrived and stopped the fight and took the group inside. And some of them broke out in sweat when they saw Issei still eating dinner. Hongjin. Don't you know the situation we're in? Issei. A little, but both they and you allowed themselves to be provoked easily. Violence does not always resolve, even if they come from a monster academy. Tang-san. Maybe you don't like fights. Issei. I only fight to protect my friends and loved ones. Xiaowu. You have someone special. Issei. The truth is there are many people who are special to me. Remembering the girls and their adventures. Xiaowu. And what happened to them? Issei. They are in a very safe place. The truth is I don't know when I will see them again. But leaving that aside, how about you listen to Teacher Zhao's explanation? Everyone paid attention to the teacher. And he gave them a long talk. After the talk the group went to rest so that they could continue the adventure the next day. The next day everyone continued their path until someone wanted to know something. Oscar. Issei, can I ask you a question? Issei. Sure, tell me. Oscar. What happened to your eye? At that point everyone stopped. Since they were walking, everyone was curious to know what happened to him. Issei. The truth was nothing. I was just defending someone very important to me. Oscar. I see, but it's not difficult for you to fight like that. Issei. Not at all. I feel normal. But that they continued on their way. After walking for a while they managed to find a flying snake. Most of them began to fight. Issei stayed behind to protect Rongrong. After a while of fighting the snake was waiting. Oscar. We won't be able to reach it. Issei. It's my turn. Tang-san. You won't get there, it moves very fast. Issei. Don't worry. Taking his 100 out of his pocket. Issei. 100 on. Activating her armor and throwing her spear at the snake, hitting its tail so it can't move. Everyone was open-mouthed at their weaponry. Issei deactivated his armor and went to where the snake was, the rest followed him instinctively. Issei. Oscar, it's your turn. He just nodded and took out a knife and killed the snake and started farming. While that was happening, the others were watching. Hongjin. Hey, what was that? Issei. It's an armor they gave me a long time ago. I hardly use it. Tang-san. I thought it would be a spiritual bone. Issei. What is that? Tang-san. There are times when creatures leave something else when you kill them, it's rare to have them. Issei. I see, but that's not my case. You buy. It's still a good armor. Issei just nodded. They continued waiting until an hour had passed and Oscar was already opening his eyes with a smile. Hongjin. And then. He just gave them a smile and created one of his sausages and he ate it. After that he took a big jump and out of nowhere he took out a pair of wings. Everyone was surprised to see that. You buy. Oscar, how long does that last? Oscar. About a minute. You buy. I see, but that will help us in the future. They were about to leave, but Tang-san spoke. Tang-san. Guys, I'm rank 30 now. Everyone was surprised by his progress and after that they congratulated him. Zhao. Well, we'll have to look for another ring. Everyone nodded and headed off. After a few minutes of walking they stopped their pace as they felt something approaching them and making them tremble with every step they took. Wrong. What was that? Suddenly a great ape came out. Everyone was surprised at how giant he was. Zhao. That is the king of the forest. The Titan Ape is a million-year-old beast. He also has great intelligence as well as strength, defense and agility. At that the ape made a great roar. Everyone was scared when they saw that. Exactly a person that Issei knew how to notice. After a few seconds the ape got upset and wanted to attack, but Zhao tried to do so, but was sent flying. The rest of the boys took an attack position on exactly one person. After a few minutes of attack, which for the ape was nothing, everyone was tired and the ape took Xiao Wu and left the place. Tang-san, seeing that, went after him but it was too late, the ape was faster than him and he was tired. Issei thoughts. That ape, ever since he saw us, he set his sights on Xiao Wu. Maybe they know each other. Something is happening here. When I see her I'm going to ask her. When he got out of his thoughts he went to help his companions who were injured. Hongjin. Because you didn't help. Issei. It was very strong, the best option was not to do anything for now. Juking. But there was nothing you could do. Issei. I have a feeling he won't do anything to her. Besides, Xiao Wu is strong and he will be able to escape, we just have to wait. The others didn't say anything and instead started farming to regain their strength. But Tang-san was worried since they were children he had promised to take care of her. Issei. Trust her. She will be alright. Tang-san. But I had promised to take care of her. And first I had promised that they had to pick me up. Issei. I won't lie to you, I know how you feel. Since I have been through this situation before. Tang-san. Not while. Issei just let out a sigh and better left him alone for a moment so he could think things through better. After a few hours everyone was at 100 except for one person who was worried but they couldn't do anything. When Master Zhao gave the signal to follow the first to leave, Tang-san separated from the group. Issei. Tang-san, if you don't think clearly, you will go through bad situations. I can understand your situation. He said it to himself as the others followed his lead. After an hour of searching, they managed to find Tang-san in front of a 2,000-year-old spider. Everyone was surprised to know that. Zhao refused to let him use her to have his other ring since she was too powerful for him. But after so much insistence he managed to convince him. While the others took care of him, Tang-san began to cultivate. After a while, Xiao Wu arrived and gave an explanation. But I managed to convince everyone exactly to one person. When she knew Tang-san's situation, she became worried but she couldn't do anything. Issei. Xiao Wu, we can talk alone. She nodded and they separated from the group. Xiao Wu. What's wrong? Issei. Xiao Wu, I know we barely know each other, but you don't know that ape. When she heard that, her eyes widened and Issei, seeing that, confirmed it. Issei. I may act stupid sometimes, but I look around me and I could also notice that since that ape found us he saw you. Xiao Wu just lowered her gaze. Issei let out a sigh and was going to leave, but Xiao Wu stopped him and was going to speak. Chapter 103. Xiao Wu. I am a spirit beast. Issei. I see, and that's what's bad about it. Xiao Wu. As always you don't know. Well, if they find out what I am, many will want to kill me since I also have a spirit ring. Issei. I see. Then you are known to the ape. Xiao Wu. That's right. He took care of me along with someone else when those from the spiritual office came for my mother. Issei. I understand. Tang-san doesn't know, right? Xiao Wu. No. I'm afraid something will happen to him. But I do not know what to do. Issei approached her and put a hand on her shoulder. Issei. Just stay close to him. There are always hard moments in life. But I know you two can overcome them. Xiaowu. That's how it will be. That's why I must become strong like him. Issei. I know they will. Well, with this clear, let's go back to the others. Xiaowu just nodded and the two of them returned to the rest. Minutes passed and Tang San had succeeded, but in doing so he obtained something that surprised everyone. But she couldn't control it at the same time. Everyone moved away to avoid danger, except for Xiaowu who wanted to be next to him. After an hour Tang San had managed to adapt to his new spirit ring. When they were about to leave they were all surrounded by smaller spiders. Zhao. Because of the blows I received from the ape, I have little strength left. You buy. Just like us, we have little spiritual power. Issei. I'll take them away. Since I hardly do anything. Taking a step forward. The spider lunged at him, but Issei only hit it, filling her to pieces. Then I stomped his foot hard on the ground, causing a slight earthquake that scared the spiders and they left. Oscar. That was great. Issei. It was nothing. Zhao. Well, since we have everything it's better to get out of here. Everyone started walking except one person. Tang San. Issei, something's wrong. Issei. I won't go with you. Xiaowu. Because. Issei. I'm one of those people who likes to explore and well I'll go see more places. Zhao. We are in a dangerous place and it is not good to be alone. Issei. I'll be fine. I will return at some point. You bye. You don't like the academy. Issei. It's great. And you are good people. That's why when I come back I will help with whatever I can. So see you. Turning around and leaving the place. Juking. He has a lot of energy. Wrong. I hope I don't die in this place. Tang San. The only thing left to do is trust him. The group resumed their path until they reached their destination. After a few hours they arrived at the academy and teacher Zhao went to give his report. Flender. I see. They had a bad time, but in the end everything turned out well. Isay. I was curious to meet that boy. Zhao. He is someone very mysterious. Having such skills and level at such a young age. Isay. It also has two 10,000-year-old rings. That's impossible, no one can survive that. Flender. There is no choice but to wait and see what we get when we return. Meanwhile Issei was walking through the forest and it was already late. Issei. I want to know how strong they will become by the time we meet again, friends. He said it with great emotion. I walk a little until I reach a lake. And as he did so he was shocked by what he saw. Issei. Wow, you're the ape. The ape turned around and saw Issei with a big smile and that surprised him a little because he wasn't afraid. Ape. What do you want? Issei. You can talk great. Ape. You're not afraid. Issei. Not at all. Also Xiaowu told me about you, he told me that you took care of her just like another creature. Ape. Maybe you. Issei. He told me. But well, let's leave that topic. Ape. What do you want here? Issei. I'm just exploring. But I'm also looking for something else. Ape. And that would be. Issei. A little action. You know a place where I can fight a little. You are an interesting boy. Issei. Who is he? At that moment some lightning was heard and the sea trembled a little. Seconds later a large snake with bull horns emerged. My name is Da Ming. Issei. Hello. And well, Da Ming. There's a place you might be interested in, you know. Issei. Seriously, what's there? Da Ming. It is the island of the sea god. It is a spiritual beast island. Issei. Interesting, I like challenges. Da Ming. Aren't you afraid of dying there? Old beasts are more than 10,000 years old. Issei. It's better not. Maybe there I will find what I want. Da Ming. What do you want? Issei. A battle that forces me to exceed my limits. Da Ming. You don't know defeat, right? Issei. I had some a while ago. You know I have fought many times, but everyone ends up dead in the end. Ape. You want to see your limits while you do that. Issei. I want to know if I can protect my loved ones in the future with my current strength. Da Ming. I see. Then I wish you luck on your journey. Issei. Great. But I have a problem. Ape. And that's it. Issei. I don't have the slightest idea how to get there. This is all new to me. Da Ming. I see. The only thing you have to do is ask others for directions and tell them how to get to the sea. When you are there you can feel the island. I know you can and if you can't it's because you're not ready yet. Issei. I see. Well it will be a bit of a long trip. Ape. Good luck. Issei just nodded and left the place. Da Ming. That boy just by his presence will make everyone tremble in the future. Ape. I could tell. I don't understand why he worries so much because he has a lot of power in his hands. Da Ming just nodded and returned to the lake. Well Issei. Issei. This will be great. He said it with a big smile as he continued on his way. He had so much emotion that he didn't even have a dream. The next day at the academy. The three teachers are in front of their students. Isay. I will help you with your training. Thanks An. Nice to see you again master. Isay just nodded. Blender. You have to become strong. Or else they will fall behind their partner. Hongjin. You talk about Issei. Don't worry we will soon catch up and leave it behind. Isay. How strong is he? Thanks An. The truth is we don't know with pressure since he didn't show many of his abilities. Also, when we went to the city he won 20 consecutive victories and a few records. Isay. What kind of training must he have had to reach that level at such a young age? Blender. He has already met 2 requirements to graduate from here and that is to be over 40 and under 20 years old. Oscar. It sounds easy, but it's getting harder and harder to level up. I just got to level 30. Isay. With my help his level increases drastically. And they will be able to achieve it. By the time you see each other again the difference won't be much. The boys just nodded enthusiastically. Chapter 104. A week had passed since Issei started his trip. Along the way he met people, both good and bad, but in the end they came out harmed when they confronted him. Issei was in a small town getting directions. Issei. As that man told me, I am 3 days away from traveling. Great, I'll be there soon. Following his path. Issei. I hope it goes well for you guys. On his way he met some bandits. When he saw them he just let out a sigh. Issei. I'm tired of this. I think this is the 4th time this has happened to me. Leave your things and you can leave here. Issei. I don't feel like fighting so you can go. Ahaha do you think we will listen to you? Activating his spiritual weapon which was a spider and his companions had a lizard and the other a sword. Issei. Let's finish this quickly. Taking a step and instantly he was in front of one who hit him in the stomach causing him to run out of air and remain on the ground. The other 2, seeing that, got scared and took their friend and quickly left the place. Issei. That was it. I expected more from you. Returning to his path. Days passed and he arrived at his destination. As she did so she was surprised at how big the city was and how pretty it was. But without thinking twice he went to the port to see the sea. Issei. I finally arrived. It's time for action. Having a big smile on his face. And jumping into the water, landing on his feet thanks to his shoes that were given to him earlier. Issei. Let's go. Starting to run quickly to reach their destination. Meanwhile somewhere else. Aviana. Azazel what happens this time? Azazel. It's strange this time I can't locate him, something won't let me. Clare. I say that someone or something doesn't want me to come back. Gabriel. But because he sends it to those places. Isaka. We can only wait. And that's fine. Lefei. And don't get into trouble. Amaterasu. That would be impossible, he always gets into trouble. Lefei. You're right. Long time no see. Ronald. Even so, I still haven't gotten used to seeing odd Sama like this. Roswis. Before working with him I thought it would be serious, but the reality was different. Runhold. But this is better than the other. Auden. You shouldn't talk like that in front of that person. Runhold. That's me. Enterprise. While we wait for Issei's return, what can we do? Belfast. How about getting to know this world more? The truth is we don't know much. Prince. Sure. Plus I want to see the sea. Who knew? But don't use your boats or else people might get upset. Prince. Yes, don't worry. Belfast. Watching from you. Something bad may happen. Enemu. Well then let's go to the sea to pass the time. Azazel. Well then we're leaving. Griselda. Only girls. Auden. But if Issei were here it would be true. All. Obviously yes. And that office created a dimensional gap where all the girls left the place. Azazel. How lucky Issei is. What is her secret to getting women like that? Auden. On our return we asked him. Azazel just nodded and returned to his work. The days had passed and Issei was still at sea searching. Issei. Wow, it's good that I brought water. I didn't think this trip would last so long. Well he continued running. He stayed like that for 4 more days until he saw something in the distance. Issei. That will be it. His smile widened and he ran faster. When he arrived he saw how dark it was and like a creature he wanted to eat him instantly. Issei instinctively punched him in the face which caused his death. Issei. That caught him off guard. Well he entered the island. As he did so he noticed how dark it was and walked slowly so as not to attract attention. But it was of no use as he heard several roars and several creatures approaching him. Issei. Time for action. Running towards the creatures and starting to kill. He did it with a smile since he had some time since he had not fought with so many. Hours passed and there were fewer and fewer until they were all dead. Issei for his part only had some scratches but not serious. Issei. That was great. Some were strong. If these are the weakest, it already gives me an idea of what the strongest will be like. Returning to his path. I spent a week like this. Not sleeping much because I had to be alert. And eating food from the creatures he killed, which in his opinion was horrible since he was not used to eating meat. Issei. I hope you guys have improved in this time. He said it to the sky. But he snapped out of his thoughts when he heard big footsteps. Issei. What is that? Going to the place to see what it was. When he arrived he was surprised by what he saw. Issei. Great. As he looked at the large creature. Hearing Issei's voice he stopped walking past him and looked down at him. A small rank 42 dares to stand in front of me. Maybe you want to die. Issei. What manners? I have the right to be like this. I am millions of years old. Issei. And you brag about it. The truth doesn't matter to him. But there is something I know. Hang-san told me that the older the creature is, the more powerful it is. Go die somewhere else. I don't want to get dirty. Issei. I see. Well, it doesn't matter, mammoth. Don't confuse me with that lower class, I'm a behemoth. Issei. I see. Well, let's get this started. Taking a big leap. Then connecting his fist to the behemoth's face, but nothing happened. Behemoth. Ha ha ha, you won't do anything to me, you insolent brat. I have the best defense in the world. And resistance, you're just wasting your time here. The longer you live, the stronger you become. Issei. I see. So you have good resistance. That's great, so you can help me see how strong I am. Taking another jump, only this time he put more strength in his fist. Confident behemoth did not even move from the spot, but when he felt Issei's fist on his face he fell to the ground and one of his fangs fell to the ground. Behemoth. Damn, how you dare touch me with your dirty hands. Issei. Hey, you said you had the best defense. Behemoth. And so it is. Issei. Then use it. Because I've only just started. Annoyed behemoth went to attack, only this time against killing intent. After 10 minutes you could see behemoth on the ground breathing heavily and Issei still sitting on his sword. Behemoth. What are you? How do you have that strength? Issei. Just a human. You know, I expected more from you. But in the end it wasn't much. Behemoth. I see. So I'm weak. Boy, before I die promise me you'll wear my spirit ring. Issei. I have never worn those rings. Behemoth. Then how did you beat me? Issei. Pure strength. Behemoth. I see. But you still won't have it. I feel like you can handle it and you can help with it. Issei. If that is your wish, so it will be. Behemoth didn't say anything else. And seconds later he died. Issei, not feeling his breathing, went down his back and crossed his legs since he saw what Oscar and Tang-san did when they got the rings from him. Issei closed his eyes and began. As he did so, a red ring began to form around him. I know that many will say that it is impossible, but Issei has great resistance and those things do not affect him. Well, I don't know if you understand me. 30 minutes passed and Issei opened his eyes, and as he did so he got up and continued on his way in search of action. Chapter 105. Days passed and Issei followed his path. Some monsters moved away from him for fear of his power. He didn't really understand why, but he didn't take it too seriously at the same time, since he could sleep more comfortably. In the moments when he was not fighting he closed his eyes and began to meditate since his friends told him that this helps him improve more. It was a new day, and Issei continued on his path of exploration until he passed near a swamp. At that point he took a rock and threw it there to see if there was anything, but nothing came out. Letting out a sigh he continued on his way until he heard a noise and turned around. As he did so he saw how water moved and then a large creature came out. Issei's eyes widened when he knew what it was like. Issei. Wow, this is a surprise really. How dare you interrupt my dream? Inferior creature. Issei. Seriously, because they always treat me like that. But well, putting that aside, you can see that you are very strong. I am a being who has lived thousands of years. You should be honored to see me. Issei. If you knew how many times I've heard that. You're Hydra, aren't you? Hydra? Yes. Because you are not afraid, many people run away when they hear my name. Issei. I like challenges, plus I heard about you in a book and I didn't think you would be real. But I know you are strong. Taking fighting position. The Hydra in the verse laughed because a human wanted to fight him. At that Issei launches an attack, destroying one of his heads with his fist. Only a few seconds passed when he regenerated again, only this time it was another one. Issei. So it's true, if one is destroyed, two appear. Hydra. And even knowing that you came to attack me. Issei. I hope you don't disappoint me, Hydra. Jumping and summoning her spear and cutting off two more heads. Issei, seeing how they regenerated, couldn't help but put on a smile since he thought she would give him a fight. The Hydra, bothered by her 8 heads, now used her breath against Issei. Seconds later a large green poisonous cloud could be seen. Hydra. Insolent human trying to challenge me. Returning to the Pantando until he heard Issei's voice. Issei. This makes me a little itchy. Clearing the smoke in an instant. Seeing that, the Hydra was surprised but she didn't show it and she went to attack just like Issei. 2 days passed and no one stopped and the Hydra had 12 heads of it. Issei only had several scratches. They were few since thanks to the skill behemoth suffered less. Hydra. Because you don't die once and for all. Don't you realize, I'm an immortal being, no matter what you do, you won't be able to kill me. She told him it was annoying. Issei. You're right, but you know I've never had one of my fights last against just one monster. Furthermore, he has already fought against an immortal and good being, and in the end he gave up. Hydra. Don't compare me to anything human. Releasing a large mouthful of poison. Issei using both of his hands gave a big clap that cleared away the poison. And he went on the attack. Spending another 3 days where the Hydra was feeling a little tired from moving around so much. And the great destruction they caused because of her fight. Issei was only hungry and thirsty, but because of the fight he couldn't stop. At that Issei let out a big sigh that the Hydra noticed. Hydra. You give up. Issei took a seat on the floor. Issei. It's great to fight with you, but with the second day we fought the routine was the same, since you always use the same moves. At that he stands up again and looks at the Hydra with a serious face. Issei. It's time to finish this. I think it's time to go back to the others. The Hydra was going to say something, but Issei moved quickly, cutting off their heads with a spear. Thanks to his skill of the spear, he made it heat up to the maximum and thus closing the place where he cut off his head, only leaving the main one. Hydra. How is it possible? All this time you were playing with me. Issei. No. I wanted you to help me break my limits, but in the end all this time was in vain. The routine continued and nothing changed. Hydra. Even so, you won't be able to, as long as it has a head, you won't be able to do anything. Issei. I know. Moving and cutting the head into several pieces. Until I leave them in ruins. Issei. Only then could you die. Darting the spear from him. And seeing how the large body falls to the ground. Issei let out a sigh and sat down since he was hungry. It stayed like that for a few minutes until he got up and went to look for a creature to eat. After half an hour he had already finished eating. And he sat down to do what he did before. It stayed like this for a long time because this time the creature was much older. 2 hours later he opened his eyes again. As he did so his eyes had turned a dark green from the poison. Issei stood up and stretched out his arms and began walking back to the academy. When she got to the sea she noticed his dirty clothes and decided to take a bath since she hadn't done so in a while. While he was doing it he saw his reflection in the water and was surprised to see his eyes of a different color. Issei. But what the hell happened to me? Looking at his entire body to see if he had another change, but he didn't have anything else. Upon knowing this he let out a sigh. Issei. I hope this isn't something bad. Getting out of the water and putting on his clothes. At the end he began to run towards the city again. This time it took him less time to get to the city and when he did so, several people saw him in surprise, but Issei was in a hurry to return to the academy since 2 months had already passed without seeing his former classmates. While he walked some girls looked at him blushing for having such a physique and that look. Upon leaving the city, Issei began to run since this time he knew the way back. 3 days passed until she arrived at his destination and upon entering the academy she noticed a great silence, so she went to all the available houses but found nothing. Issei. What happened? Leaving the academy and heading to the city, when he arrived he noticed something strange and that was that there were people so he asked someone. Issei. Excuse me sir but what's going on here? Because there are so few people. You don't know boy. Everyone left since tomorrow they will begin the battle of the academies in the empire. To know who are the best and thus fight against other academies from another empire. Issei. I understand. Maybe that's why they're not there. What are you taking about? Issei. Don't care about it. Well thanks for the information. Leaving the place. Starting to run since he wanted to see his friends in action. And how much they had improved. He was running all day and night and wanted to arrive soon. When I arrive I notice many people at the entrance. And he saw a screen and how it was shown to the other students until his friends passed by. Issei, seeing his uniforms, couldn't help but laugh a little at how strange they were. At the end of the presentations, everyone entered the stadium to watch the fights. Issei searched until he saw someone he knew until he found someone and went there. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.